classes, the scholars, and the majority silence. There's a handful that have come out and talked about it. Majority silence, majority not interested. Like I said, brothers from a channel. Again, a lot of people are selling Islam now, online, offline, TV, many channels. Yeah, these brothers from an Islamic TV channel, yeah, a Muslim TV channel, they own it and run it because it was their cousin or friend's relative, sister, whatever. They didn't even bother speaking to this guy, getting to know him, find out what the situation is. They rocked up at this geezer's house under instruction of one of their family members, and they robbed these geezers and other brothers. And every single person there had a beard, topi, jabba, yeah, all practicing brothers, yeah. Sisters with a niqab on there, yeah. Sister, this geezer's sister-in-law, niqabi, bro. These are practicing people, young imam. Because there's footage, there's clear CCTV footage. This is how the so-called practicing people are being. I tell you what. I'll tell you what Islam is under attack from. What I truly believe. The only thing Islam is under attack from, unfortunately, I think, is the so-called practicing people. The so-called practicing people that go around doing stuff like what I've explained today. That's who Islam's really under attack from. We need to call them out, expose those munafiqs in the community. Just walking down the road with all my kit, the things you got to do to get a podcast. This is the work behind the scenes that people don't see. Good evening. Welcome to Disqualified Dads. I am here with a very special guest today that I met on Instagram, the Asian body coach himself, but he'll introduce himself in a minute. First and foremost, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, follow and share. If you want to support the channel, there's a PayPal link in the description. Go there and send your donations there. And thank you to all of those who are sending donations. I appreciate all of you. Also, we've got merchandise coming out. There's t-shirts and stuff to follow, and they're coming out soon. Now, I've connected with Tanbir, the Asian body coach, on Instagram quite a few months ago, many months ago.
Yeah, I'd say
quite a while
6
back
months
now.
ago. Roughly.
Yeah, it's quite a while back. So we've been planning this for ages. So Tanbir, just introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, the body coaching, the whole thing.
Hi guys, my name is Tanbir. I'm also known as Asian Body Coach on Instagram. You give me a follow at Asian Body Coach. I essentially help people lose weight with curry, as well as gain weight with curry. So get hen sheet curry, lose weight curry. They both coincide and then both happen. Farouk's been following me for six months.
6, 8 months, yeah, about 8
going back
months,
and forth,
probably longer, yeah, probably longer.
Also came to the client event. Was lovely to have him down. And we're going to just discuss today just a general flow of basically what Asians struggle with, etc. Fruits and take it.
Yeah, we're going to try and cover, obviously, a little bit about the health, fitness, dieting, food, curry. We're going to talk a bit about the community, the culture, the marriage, divorce crisis, and all the associated issues, as you are all aware of. So tell me, how did you get it? Tell us about your journey into being the Asian body coach. I mean, go back as far as you want.
Okay.
Why are you passionate about this?
So the very beginning, right?
Go to the beginning, yeah, because from your posts and everything you've done, yeah, you're clearly very passionate about health, losing weight, and still being able to eat curry, yeah?
Yeah, indeed.
So that is your passion. So where did this start? Where did this come from?
Okay, so this started around 2018 when I first hired like a PT, a personal trainer. And this
you hired a personal trainer,
yeah,
for yourself?
For myself to lose weight because I was struggling with my belly, I was struggling with my body confidence. So what happened was he gave me a diet plan, but that diet plan wasn't actually tailored to Asian households, right? So what happened was he gave me bland chicken, rice and vegetables to have. And I remember a moment where I was sitting down with my family. I was having the bland chicken, rice and vegetables. Mum and dad having curry.
Are they laughing at you?
Yeah, sister having rice and curry. And I felt like the odd one out. This felt very weird and just
alien, bro. The bland, yeah.
Alienated. I was getting ridiculed for it, really. I just thought, you know what, there's a better way of doing this. So that was the biggest pain point. And then I thought, you know what, sod this. I'm gonna start incorporating the rice and curry in a healthy way, find my own way. And that's where Asian Body Coach started.
So you started making your own recipes and stuff?
Essentially, measuring out the oil. Here's a quick tip for you. If you ever pour from the oil.
Adjustment there. Apologies for that. Carry on, sorry, yeah.
So if you ever cook your curries, make sure you use a tablespoon to measure out your oil, right? Rather than pouring directly from the bottle like our mums do or like our parents do.
I'm going to ask you a question, yeah? I didn't get to ask you on the event day. I was going to ask you on the event day, but it was all happening so fast, right? This is the discussion. I had this chat with my mom and other Asian women over the years and whatnot, yeah? Is it possible that we, in Asian cooking, can we replace our traditional oil with virgin olive oil straight, or is it not possible?
That's the thing. It will affect the taste, but one thing I'll say, it's got the same calories, right?
Oh, I see. It's healthier, don't it?
Yeah, it's slightly healthier, but in terms of fat loss, whether you're trying to get rid of your belly or get rid of diabetes, it will still amount to the same calories. So 1 tablespoon of virgin olive oil,
Mm-hmm.
120. Guess how much calories in sunflower oil? 1 tablespoon.
I wouldn't have a clue, bro. How is it?
So it's the same. Funny enough. So one thing they do is all these supermarkets, they fall into like the marketing. So they claim it's healthier, but at the end of the day, it's gonna have the same calories, and calories is king for fat loss.
All right,
So
hold on. See, okay. So just
go
so
on,
I understand, yeah, because look, you got to. I have a very limited understanding of these
go
things.
on.
Yeah,
That's all right.
fat loss. Are you aim? Okay, look. The angle I'm saying about the virgin olive oil is it's healthier as a
Mm,
substitute oil compared to the usual sunflower oil. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Now you're saying the calories will be the same. It might be healthier, but as far as the fat loss element is concerned, it's irrelevant.
Mm,
That's what you're saying, yeah.
mm-hmm.
But would it still not be better to have the healthier one, like?
Yeah, you're completely right. Because virgin olive oil, less processed, right? It's less processed. But the issue is, most people don't have that in their household. It's usually sunflower oil, right?
Yeah,
So I'm giving
because
them tips like right now, what can you do to
okay,
actually get that
immediately, yeah.
immediate ASAP? Because most people see that as a barrier. All right, I gotta get healthy, I gotta do it. All right, I gotta buy extra oil. I gotta convince mum somehow to go from using sunflower
She
oil.
won't do it. Forget it. It's enough. Forget it. It's pointless. It's
Exactly.
not going to happen, bro.
So this is actionable steps you can use straight away.
Okay, that's a fair point. Yeah, so I'll
Mm,
carry on with that. So measure the oil in
mm.
the teaspoons and pour it in
Tablespoons.
tablespoons
One tablespoon, 120 calories.
rather than the old. Not happening, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Do not pour from the bottle, guys. It's a biggest mistake,
Right.
right?
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with our curries, Farouk. There's nothing wrong. It's just based on the oil content. It adds up and easily can be 500 calories from pouring from the bottle. If you have 1 to 2 tablespoons, you're good to go. That's only 200 calories. It's healthier. It won't even taste that much different.
Okay.
Right?
Carry on with the journey then.
So,
So you started coming up with these recipes.
yeah, so I was just making the curries healthier and convinced mum to make them healthier. And one thing I realized was people think that curry, cultural food in general, is very unhealthy. And that's the one thing I'm trying to take with Asian Body Coach, meaning that you can lose weight, you can eat your curry sustainably and still drop weight in a sustainable manner. Because the best diet is essentially the one you don't feel like you're on,
Ah,
right?
okay. That's a good way of.
So the main consensus of the program is keep the curry in at the start rather than when most people would restrict it. If you keep it in at the start, you learn how to keep chicken tikka in, chicken curry, dal, roti. If you keep it in at the start, you will to drop the weight, lose the weight, and then keep it off long term because you've understood how to keep it.
Okay, look. So
Mhm.
just to understand, curry in itself is not unhealthy, yeah? It's just the amount
Correct.
of oil content that makes it unhealthy. But curry in itself is not an unhealthy food.
No, it's not unhealthy, no one bit.
So this fantasy that curry is unhealthy, roti and curry, naan curry is fine.
Because it's a big long-term fix,
Mm.
especially with our parents. They usually have a lot of oily curries, a
Over
lot
the
of
years, yeah. So it's
yeah.
daily multiplied by 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's where goes. That's where it goes wrong, yeah.
Basically, generational habits, as well as like buttering your parathas or like
Uh-huh.
using like a lot of ghee, oil when you're having your toast or eggs. So eggs, parathas, all that, it all adds up. And one tip is fat. 1 gram of fat has 9 calories, while 1 gram of protein or carbs has 4 calories. So half the calories. So that's the reason why in Asian diets it's high in sodium, high in fat, high in oil.
So how many calories was that 1 gram of fat has?
9 calories.
And protein?
4 calories, same as carbs.
1 gram of protein has 4 calories. That's quite interesting
Yeah,
to
so it's
know.
almost half the calories. Same with carbs. Carbs has 4 calories, right? So when people say I'm gonna cut out carbs and they keep in the oil, they keep in the fats, if anything, it's doing them more damage. Right? Would you agree?
Well, okay, look, me being a, how can I put it?
Well, generally, you're a slim guy for it.
Okay, generationally or genetically, I would
Mhm.
say my whole family's slim, so we don't have to worry too much about it. Yeah, in that sense, yeah.
Mhm.
So we've not had to watch what we eat too much. Hence, how can I put it? So I agree with you, but there's an element of me. I think if you're just working physically or you're training consistently as a lifestyle,
Mhm.
I'm just from the old school mentality. You can get away with eating whatever you want, as much as you want, as long as you've got the output.
Mhm. To
So
balance it out,
yeah,
right?
if you've got an active lifestyle, so if you're a tradesman, you work on tools. I know how some of these guys graft all day physically.
Mm.
I know guys, right? So when I was an apprentice, yeah, I know guys that had fry ups every morning, bro. Typical English breakfast every single morning, fry ups for 40 years. But because they grafted and labored all day,
Mm.
it seemed to just get lost in the system because they're physically working, grafting, like, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So I think if you're grafting or you're training, and when I say training, I don't mean like you go to the gym, there's a 5 minute chat between sets. I'm talking like you're sweating, you're working
Mm.
straight for your 45 minutes an hour and you're pushing it. Like, I think you can get away with things. You can get away with more things if you've
Mm.
got the output.
Yeah, and I do agree with you. That's a good point you make. But at the same time, when you do get 50, right, and you reach retirement age, it might not be possible with the habits you built up over the years. My desi breakfast, my early breakfast, my eating habits, those will stay the same. The only thing that will change is the activity levels. So if we get a bad knee, a bad back, we might go from working in
Of
construction,
course, yeah,
working in the
yeah, yeah.
office,
Yeah,
and
you might
still
go from tools to podcasting.
and be more sedentary as a result. So to balance out that the food, the actual labor won't be there as much, right?
All right.
So
Okay, there's another thing I've noticed as you get older, yeah.
mhm,
Obviously, look,
there's always pains every day, isn't there? Knee pain.
no, but dietary change I've noticed, yeah. For example, so when I was in my early 20s, I used to go to the gym,
Mhm,
all of that stuff, 4, 5, 6 meals a day with snacks in between, protein shake, all of that, yeah. Whereas as you get into your mid to late 30s, I've noticed you could potentially just have one meal a day. Like, you don't have that
mm,
appetite, or your body doesn't seem to.
mm,
You couldn't eat like even the thought of 6 meals a day. I just don't know how it's possible now. Whereas
mm.
when you're in your 20s, pumping iron, training, all of that, running around, to compare to now, I couldn't even imagine, like,
Yeah, your appetite's gone down, hasn't it?
big time.
But would you say that's because you're more busy and you're doing
No,
things?
no, I
Okay.
just think your body just your metabolism slows down as you get older. I think your metabolism does slow down. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hence, where, like I said, could you eat 6 meals a day now?
probably not.
You could, compared to what
'Cause-
you could eat in your
yeah,
20s, right? You can't eat like
yeah,
on the way here back then. I could have had a doner kebab and we could have left here, had a chicken burger on the way. It wouldn't have made no odds, bro. Just like whatever.
yeah,
But
yeah.
now it's like if I had a doner kebab earlier, I might not eat till tomorrow morning. Like, potentially, I might have an appetite.
Mm.
So your metabolism slows down as you get older as well, isn't it?
Yeah. But wouldn't you agree with healthier curries? Measuring out the
I
oil.
agree. No,
That will make
definitely.
a big difference, even if you're having one meal a day.
I agree. And to all
Mm.
the aunties out there, you cannot live in this bliss where you don't want to hear this. The
Yeah,
elders, they don't want to hear it, bro.
yeah. I keep on, what's it called, telling off Auntie Bushra, who I used to work with
Uh-huh.
in my accountancy days. Always used to give out advice herself, always used to comment on girls, guys that put on weight, but never took the advice herself.
Yeah.
And it's a weird phenomenon. I think they have a lot of like they put themselves on a pedestal. They think they're better than everyone else.
The condition, bro. That generation is so conditioned where they don't
Mm,
want change. No one likes change. But sorry, carry on with your
mm,
journey then. So
mm.
you started coming out these recipes.
So the main consensus is lose weight, eat curry, but at the same time have training on the side because there is a genetic element where South Asians they suffer with diabetes, cholesterol, and blood pressure problems. It's like so we're more susceptible to having it, and I think the biggest reason why is just genetically is like our grandparents.
Okay, you're right. So with the diabetes, I've
Mm,
heard that in the
mm,
South Asian communities, diabetes, blood
correct.
pressure, there's an absolute, and cholesterol, yeah,
Yeah, big
is
three.
like a big.
I call it the big three.
Yeah, well, we've got all three. Our South Asian community, they've got it in masses from what I've heard, yeah.
Yeah,
So is this a dietary issue, a hereditary issue, or where do you think this comes from?
both, both. So it makes it even worse. So it's a double whammy, right? A double whammy. And number one is obviously hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Farouk, is grandparents. They might have been related. right? They might have been cousins, distant cousins, and
Mhm.
I believe that with those two genes, it's become double. So
So right, you've
yeah,
got
grandma and granddad who are related, etc.
so if they're from the same sort of bloodline, or let's say
Yeah,
they're from the same village and there's from the same bloodline, if they
yeah,
got two of those same genes, just makes it harder.
yeah,
It just doubles the problem
yeah.
basically.
It doesn't help at all whatsoever. On top of the diet as well, high sugar jalebis, gulab jam, basmati rice, etc. This stuff just coincides, and
What's wrong with basmati rice?
there's nothing wrong with it. It's just our overconsumption of it. So there isn't a problem with consumption of rice. It's the overconsumption of rice that causes the problems. And it's when people are stressed, they come home late from work, haven't had any food. And what's the food that's available?
Rice.
Rice and curry, right? So we have it in large quantities.
Yeah, but some people have rice and curry every day, like.
Yeah, it's completely fine. It's essentially it's the actual portion sizes. So I always tell clients portion out your rice. So you can easily have like 2 fists of rice and stick to that, or you can have one fist with one salon and another fist of rice with another salon. So simple portion sizes that you stick to. It's called the ABC rule. And I promise you, if you do that and you make sure you stick to that, you will see results. It's all about being mindful and breaking that generational health problem, right?
Okay.
So that's that. So that's the diet thing side of things, but there is also training. Now, one thing our parents never did,
They never trained. They didn't exercise. They didn't believe in it.
they did not train one bit,
They still
bro.
don't believe in it,
They
bro.
still don't believe it.
They
And
still they
I
still
was speaking,
fight it.
I
Yeah.
was speaking to my uncle the other day, who's got cholesterol and diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
He signed up to the gym 12 months ago. He's
Right.
been paying for membership
But he's
for the
not going.
past 12 months, but has not gone once. And I think even to up to us as kids, just go with your parents, right? Give them that little foot, that little head start, and give them that confidence. And I think it's important to have that responsibility, not as a child, but to your parents, so that they can feel better and live a long lasting life. Because there's probably kids listening to this, or um, you might have a parent that has bad cholesterol, diabetes, and the first thing they just need to do is train. Once they start training, they won't feel as hungry anymore. They won't feel like snacking. They'll feel like that blood that is in their stomach currently goes to around their body, and as a result, they'll make better food choices. That's the big one.
You're saying train, bro. My mum won't even go to the park for a walk. She
Yeah,
refuses.
yeah, and that's
She
up to us.
refuses. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I know clients that actually go with their parents.
We'd go, but she refuses point blank. Who needs it? What's all this about? We do we do chores around the house. That's our workout done. Like it's just this
Yeah,
old school mindset, bro. They
yeah,
refuse to
yeah, yeah.
budge.
You know, one thing I was saying to a client: imagine Eid Day, right,
Uh
and Christmas Day,
huh.
right? You have Eid Day, and you say, "Oh, mum, let's go for a walk. Let's walk to the mosque. Let's go for a walk and etc." They're like, "Nope, we're having food." Whereas on Christmas Day or even like Thanksgiving, etc., for like a white family, etc., they'll be like, "Oh, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a hike."
Yeah, yeah,
They're more activity based when they do things
yeah,
together as a family
yeah.
compared to us. It's
The,
more food
I think
based.
the old school mentality was your activity was what you did at work. You went to work and back. That was your physical activity. When you're home, you just chill,
Yeah, it's
or you
mad.
do home stuff, and that's your other activity.
Mm.
Gym, working out, bro. It's an alien phenomenon to them, unfortunately. So
Yeah, it's a weird it's a very unique dynamic, and I think it's a cultural thing as well, big cultural thing. So food is love. As for a white family, possibly it's just meaning that look, we do things together. We're more active on our feet. We do activities together, right? Food doesn't always have to be that love. It doesn't have to be that actual shared interest, right?
okay, all right. Let's go to a quick break. That was quite a opening introduction, and we'll pick this back up.
Okay.
Right, we are back. Here we go again. Right, listen, Tanbir, just tell us, go back to the journey now.
So
What,
after the recipes,
but what I want to know is obviously the recipes. Why did you then elaborate? Why did you start a business? Why were you so passionate about spreading it? And give us the whole ins and outs of your journey now. Yeah.
so after creating the recipes, the healthy Asian recipes, I 2 weeks after I got a nice slap in the face from the doctors who said I actually had high cholesterol. Right?
Really?
Yeah, high cholesterol. It was borderline. It was borderline before it went to high, and that gave me a nice little wake up call. Right? Because I
Hold
was
on.
at
How old were you when this happened then? Like
yeah,
with cholesterol?
this was probably around 24, 25, I think.
A bit young to have high cholesterol in it?
Yeah, it's mainly because of the way my mum was cooking,
Uh huh.
right? Her oils, her curries. the samosas, etc. It was always like deep fried, etc. So we bought an air fryer and we thought, you know what, this has to stop, this has to change. Because my parents always had health problems and I wanted to make sure that problems stopped with me, right?
Okay.
Because I want to be a dad one day, right? I want to make sure I'm a good role model for them.
Don't become a disqualified dad, yeah?
I knew you'd say that.
Carry on, but carry on.
Yeah, but being a good role model, being a good dad, right? And to make sure my health is in check, so that way my little ones will see that I'm putting in the effort, I'm eating healthy, and I'm training good. All right, so that was a nice little wake up call. So ever since then, I bought an air fryer, put my samosas in there. They're nice and crunchy now, no oil, no fat, and it works out to my favor, right?
Okay.
I think personally, it was probably the best decision that happened. I think as humans, we learn from
And this was how long? 4 years ago, yeah?
almost 5.
5 years ago. So this is 5 years ago. You started air frying rather than traditional frying, and carry on. Sorry, carry on.
And then I realized lockdown came along, right? This is around when I hit 27.
2018.
Yeah. So after 2 years of consistent effort, I thought, you know what? Lockdown happened. I wanted to become a in-gym PT when I qualified. I qualified as a PT, and surprise, surprise, lockdown happened.
So so during this period before the lockdown, while you were air frying rather than frying, you were training to be a PT.
Yeah, and I qualified just before they shut the gyms.
Okay,
so I got my certificate.
Let's go back to the PT. Yeah. So when did you start your PT? Or when did you decide you wanted to be a PT?
It was mainly through having a trainer that didn't understand my culture.
No, so what I'm saying is, we go back to the journey. Yeah, you wanted to. You got a personal trainer and he gave you a diet plan. Yeah, it was all bland. So then you started coming out with your own recipe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I sacked him.
Yeah. So from there, when did you decide that you want to become a PT basically and go into this sort of work? That's what I'm saying.
It was mainly just realizing, look, I can do this myself, right? And I thought, you know what? Others surely have the same problem, the same pain points. So let me create something new. Let me create something that's tailored to South Asians, their diet, their lifestyle, their culture.
And the training with the PT. So you thought, right, so you went all in.
Everything, the whole 360. And I think it was important because I felt so alone. I felt like there wasn't anything tailored out there for me. So let me be that first person that creates something and gives something back to the people.
Okay, good stuff.
So that's when I started training to become a PT. I learned a lot as well.
So I'm going to ask you, listen, because I've thought about this. What do you need to do to become a PT? Just for the viewers and even for myself, just out of curiosity. Like.
So there's a lot of PT courses out there. The one I did was diverse trainers, which costs around £1,200 to do.
It's not in a mainstream college. It's like online where you, or some private institute. It's not.
Yeah, so it's all online. They do have like.
Oh, it's all online, right?
Yeah, okay. They have options online, face-to-face, or distant learning, which is a slower one. But I did the online one, got qualified within 3 months, very quick, and I believe even after COVID it's helped, meaning that everything is a lot more accelerated. You get to do multiple choice questions, you have 4 exams, 2 practicals, and you're pretty much done and qualified after 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and once I got qualified, which was in 2019, only issue is, got qualified end of 2019, gym started shutting around March. And that's when things went, you know what, this is horrific. But the good thing was, I was very proactive at that time. I was working in accountancy as well.
Right, okay.
So I was doing, I started Asian Body Coach. I was working my 9 to 5 job in accountancy. And because of lockdown, essentially, during COVID, we were forced to work from home.
With your accountancy job?
Yeah. So I was working from home 5 days a week, enjoying it, had all this time back, rather than not traveling, doing it at home. I'm thinking to myself, I fell in love with actual training. Lockdown was probably the best thing that happened to me.
So you started training at home?
Yeah.
Like you started your own routine at home?
Yeah, so I bought gym equipment all online, all this stuff. Ended up paying, I think, $2,000.
Really? Bloody hell.
Barbell, plates, dumbbells.
It cost that much, yeah?
Yeah, it was $2,000 because I got it there early. I think it was December 2019, January. You know what? I'm seeing what's going on. Let's just buy some equipment so my mental health is in check. I've got something to use.
Okay.
right?
I'll have to come check the gym out one day, bro.
Yeah,
Two
yeah,
grand,
yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, I've got pictures of
2
them.
bags, yeah?
I'll,
Flipping it.
I'll show you. But what funny enough, what happened was I had the equipment,
Uh-huh.
and because I was living with mum and dad, you could imagine
Yeah.
barbells,
It's
plates.
kicking off, yeah.
They're not liking this,
Yeah.
so
Bench in the middle of the living room,
it was
yeah?
actually in my room, I think. But it was very like flipping.
Yeah.
It was
It's awkward. It's awkward having it at home, yeah.
yeah. And mum's got very OCD. She likes cleaning the house every other day, so that was a big problem. So it went from all that equipment to my home during that time to the garden, and even still she wasn't satisfied. Because what must have happened was I was doing a barbell squat one day, right? Had that on my back because it was a bit heavier than usual. Me being a man, having an ego thinking, let's go heavy. What's the worst that can happen?
Oh, no. Bloody
So I
hell.
went all the way down to do a squat, all the way down. Like I couldn't
You
go
couldn't
back.
get back up?
Couldn't get back up. So the only thing was to drop the bar.
Oh, damn.
And the garden, luckily, unfortunately, it didn't have grass. Right, it had those slabs on it. So 220 kg plates on each side, 100 kg in total. I dropped the bar, saved myself. Obviously, that was the main thing. But then I looked back and I made a massive noise in the slab.
Cracked.
I look back, I'm like, oh great. How am I going to explain this to mum? So that happened. The garden got damaged, and then mum kicked off. And this was in the heat of lockdown, probably around like April, May time. So what actually happened was I actually ended up getting a safe storage unit in Shoreguard, moved all that gym equipment to the actual safe storage unit. Best decision I made. And that's where Asian Body Coach was officially born. The name, everything, and the actual idea. Because I had that separate space from work, home to...
Oh, yeah, because you're working from home as well. You're training at home. Because a lot of people in lockdown, they didn't realize after a while. You work at home, you're training at home, you're chilling at home. Lack of change of environment starts playing. It wears people down. Then you don't bother getting out your pajamas. Then you think, well, I'll shower at lunchtime, and
it's true.
before you know it, all day goes by. You haven't even brushed your teeth like that.
It's true, and I remember that affected
Yeah.
like a lot of people's
Mentally.
mental health.
So when you moved to Shergard, were you training inside this Shergard storage unit? All right, okay. So instead of storage, you used to just knock up like you're here to get some of your belongings, but go in, shut the door, and pump iron in there on your own. Yeah.
That's the thing. I didn't even shut the door. I literally kept it open because you're sweating in that little unit.
Yeah.
I think, all right, let the air come in. Everyone's coming to like pick up stuff for like they leave stuff for their home because there's not enough space. People have like businesses, so they have like perfume, shishas, etc. It was completely allowed, and I was the only guy while working out, grunting, breathing heavy. I was like, what's going on? With the heavy breathing, I had a few people come up to see there's something else going on.
What's this geezer doing in there?
Yeah, it was absolutely, I wouldn't forget. I'll never forget it.
Do you reckon someone could like sleep inside that place and no one would know? Like, I mean, let's just say, not me, I'm just saying, if someone was homeless, for argument's sake, and they rented out one of these Shergard units or safe storage or whatever it is, little foldable fishing bed, you know what I mean? Little pillow, fold up. Who's going to know? You go in there, keys, shut the door, pull the shutter down. Technically, you live out there, isn't it? Like, especially a homeless guy. Not me, I'm just saying if someone was homeless, it's an option. That's a different video.
Right, so if someone was homeless, right, because they have like 4 floors, right, they don't double check like exactly what's going on. They just want to get paid. I'll be completely honest. Just as a business, they just want to get paid.
And how much is it? 60 quid a month or something? What is it? How much is it?
I think it's 120 a month. It came
120 a month?
Yeah. So guys, if cost of living gets too much in London, there's always Shoreguard.
Bro, if you get put through the family court, brother, we don't need a cost of living crisis, man. If you get put through the family court, you will be on the streets as a man. Unfortunately, that's a good option to remember. I might have to check that one out myself, I think.
Yeah, it's because there was a few times where I must have walked past a few units and I heard like snoring, I think.
All right, yeah. So people sleeping in there, guaranteed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that one. I have to remember that one.
So the model does work, right? Okay. And in all honesty, like you gotta do what you gotta do. I got no, I don't look down at that at all. You gotta do what you gotta do.
So carrying from there, so you were at Shergard, and inside that storage place, Asian Body Coach, the business, the brand, was formed. So what happened? How did you come up with the idea? How did you even come up with that name? So, or what were you doing there which made you think, right, you know what, I can take this and make this a business.
Yeah, because
could,
I was
yeah.
quite grateful I had a unit, something separate to actually working out at home. So I had a separate place to work out, improve my mental health. But my first initial instinct was to help others, just because I thought, you know what, there's people struggling out there with workout ideas. Let me just shoot a video on my phone against the bench and see if that goes. So my first video was like an ab workout.
Okay.
An easy at home ab workout, 15 minutes, no equipment needed. And that popped off on Instagram. That absolutely popped off.
Right. Okay.
Right. And just by giving that value, I'm thinking, all right, let's push out 2 to 3 more videos. And then that did really well. People are asking for more. People are asking for more. And they just wanted accountability. They're saying, oh, Tambi, I really like the workouts. People were DMing me, but they were asking, oh, do you do like a one-to-one? Do you do any like coaching? And one thing led to another. And I was so grateful for it. I really
Perfect.
was.
That's pretty good, man. It's quite an inspirational sort of journey. Yeah.
Yeah, because once you put yourself out there, right, you never know if something truly works until you try it. So my mentality was, let me get my feet wet, literally in that safe storage unit. Let's see where it goes, because you got nothing to lose right now, right? You either help someone or you actually end up making a business off the back of it, and both happened that day. Just because I took action, I thought, let me just see if people need help, people need value, and apparently they did, right? There was actual PTs that work in Pure Gym Group. They weren't sending out any videos. And I was like, I'd actually benefit from an ab workout at home or even a bodyweight workout. Why aren't you guys posting this? I thought to myself, literally, shame on you guys. Shame on you guys, because you're PTs. You're meant to be helping people improve their health, improve their mental well-being, right? And you couldn't even do a simple thing like that. It's just ego. They think if they send out that video, my clients won't ask for your help. It's like, it doesn't work like that. You have to give that value. No, that's what I was about.
So you started obviously pumping out your little workouts and stuff on Instagram, and then people started DMing you. People wanted to know, and from that, it just kept building.
Yeah. And then I hired a mentor, a business mentor, because I thought, let's take this seriously.
Okay, this is interesting.
I went to my 9 to 5 job straight away the next day, and I thought, you know what, I hate this, man. I can't do this. So let me start a little side hustle. Let's see, because I already got the traction. Let me start to continue it. And
So you're still working. You just thought, let me. Okay, so just so I understand, yeah. So you're still doing your 9 to 5 accountancy, yeah. And you thought, right, this is on the side. This is your side hustle. It's running. Let me just keep at it. And at that same time, you got involved with the business mentor. So tell us about this mentor. I'm quite curious to know about this business mentor.
He was a PT himself, but I think he wanted to go for the online coaching route, because obviously that was a business method I was forced into because gyms are closed. I thought I really wanted to be a PT. I really wanted to do it. I really wanted to. So I hired him. He helped me come up with the name Asian Body Coach.
So this business mentor, he was a PT himself.
Yeah.
Right, okay, an online PT.
Yeah, and he was really good. He had the track record for it, had loads of clients, and he just wanted to help the world, just like I did. Very passionate about fitness.
So he's all okay. Just so I understand, right? Just from a learning point of view, you found someone who was already in that space, who's already doing it. He's already successful, so you hired him to help you get the Asian Body Coach off the ground properly. Yeah.
And funny enough, he was the one who actually helped me come up with the name. His name is Steve McGraw. You might find him on Instagram. Very, very knowledgeable guy. Very, very energetic. So I hired him, started putting across a program, the ABC Lose Weight Eat Curry program. Lose weight, eat curry. Drop 12 kilos within that, within 3 to 4 months, and do it with curry. Do it with a training plan. Do it with accountability. Those are the 3 pillars.
Okay, so just so I understand for you, so the ABC program is specifically something that you, the Asian Body Coach, has designed.
Yep, only for South Asians, only.
Specifically tailored to the South Asian community.
Yep, getting rid of cholesterol, diabetes, any health problems that you have, dropping body fat, having a training plan, and keeping the weight off.
Right? Long term.
Long term, because you keep the curry in. Most people, when they go on a diet, they think, all right, let's cut out the rice, let's cut out the curry.
And that's not the answer. That's not the long-term answer.
It's not the long-term answer, right?
Okay, yeah, it's quite interesting.
Yeah. So with that, I was doing Asian Body Coach and the accountancy side by side. 35 hours in accountancy, 12 hours on Asian Body Coach, and it was starting to like become. I was getting more traction on this, more enjoyment,
Were you making enough money from it at that time or not?
No.
To contemplate leaving your accountancy or not?
Yeah, it did. So this was 2020, right?
Uh-huh.
I think I was earning more at one point on Asian Body Coach with 30 clients. I was in my accountancy. I told my parents about it, what's going on. Like, look, I'm considering leaving this. I really enjoy coaching my clients. I love them to bits. But I have this problem with the accountancy. Should I keep it? Being parents, brown parents are like, no, now better, don't do
How
that.
dare you? Accountancy, yes.
Mum was against it. Dad was a bit like, yeah, why not? Because he owned the restaurant himself.
So he was a bit of a hustler.
Yeah, he was a bit of a hustler. So he understood. And I think sometimes it does take convincing. And what actually ended up happening was I was doing that for a good 12 months. Asian Body Coach Accountancy. I mean, I was so overwhelmed. It was.
But can I ask you a question?
really-
Look, if you look, just from a just a general question from what I'm thinking, yeah. If he was turning over the money, in your head, surely is that not an easy thing to say? Right, you know what? This was my passion. It's come this far. Guess what? I'm earning nearly as much as I would when I'm doing my
Yeah.
9 to 5, basically. Yeah. Is that not enough reason just to say, well, look, this is it. I might as well go all in. It's not like this is struggling.
Yeah,
This is still making money. I'm not struggling. Let me just go all in. What does it matter?
That's the issue. Mum and Dad wanted to buy the house. And at that time, to get a mortgage, we need to show reoccurring official income.
Yeah.
And that, just how much they wanted it, and being the son that can actually provide that, I was holding on to that for dear life. I absolutely was. And that was probably the only reason I actually kept that job on for 12 months. Until I realized that, look, Mum and Dad weren't serious about buying it at the end. There were problems with the actual house. It had cracks in the ceiling. It had a bit of subsidence. So in some of the rooms, you're a bit like this. And I'm thinking to myself, we need to fix that first. And I think they were playing around with us.
All right. So so just trying to say the decision for you to dive into Asian Body Coach, the reason that you weren't fully diving in is because you were, you're looking to buy a house with your parents and whatnot, and you needed to show pay slips. Yeah.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you would have done it. You're saying.
Exactly.
But you delayed it for 12 months, and then you dived in and done it.
Yeah. So fast forward, June 2021, I put in my notice, 30 days notice, happy as days. Didn't tell Mum and Dad.
Okay, sorry, to go back to that. So June 2021, you woke up one morning, you realized, I presume you weren't going to buy this house, yeah?
Yeah.
So that pressure's gone. So because the decision, so I'm trying to understand why you made that decision. So once the pressure was gone to say, we're not buying this house, there is no reason to now not dive in headfirst.
Yeah, because my Mum and Dad wanted to get married, right, and live in that house. But that wasn't the case anymore.
Oh.
They prefer me to buy another house or move out and buy something separate to them.
Yeah.
They didn't want me to buy the house.
Bro. They want independent. They don't want you, bro. They want independence.
Yeah, and I was shocked by that. Thinking, what changed? I think they really enjoy the house and they wanted it to be theirs, etc. And they said, look, buy a house that's better, bigger as well, and something you'll be happy to call your own, right? So once they confirmed that after 12 months of struggle, 12 months of working 60 hours a week, I thought, okay, so this is a blessing in disguise. Let's hand in my notice. Because one day the manager made me cry. And I'm going to admit this. If she listened to this, Eva, and what's the other girl's name? Well, literally, it was a manager who didn't let me go to Jumma on Friday. And that was just something where, you know what? I'm earning income. Let me do something that I feel like my soul just needs it. My soul needs it.
Jummah is Friday prayers, obviously, for Muslims. So those are, don't know. Jummah is what you call Friday prayers, yeah.
So I had a manager who didn't let me pray my Jummah prayers, and she was refusing to let me go, etc. So one thing had to be done. I handed in my notice. I had 30 days notice, and on the 21st day, ended up getting sacked.
What?
Ended up getting sacked, even after handing in my notice. So that was very, very bittersweet.
Yeah, that's a bit bizarre. Go on, how did that happen then?
So what happened was I was running the ABC Summer Challenge in June 2021. That was going really well, and it was getting really busy. And I made the mistake of editing that challenge and doing that challenge on the work laptop.
Oh, they got you here.
Yeah, so they saw me editing the challenge.
They got you. It's done.
And basically doing that. So they spied on me. And manager books in a call 7 days before. So like emergency meeting, etc. Okay, that's fine. So I jump on the call with one of the team managers. She's like, Tambir, do you know why I've got you on this call today? I was like, no, why is that? And her response was, shall I tell you why? With big open eyes. And you can just tell from the vibe what she's insinuating. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I don't need to know. So what's happened is, Tambir, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to let you go 7 days early. You'll get your week's pay, not a problem. But I need you to log up at 5 p.m. Not talk to anybody at all. Not tell anyone why you're leaving. But this is where we're gonna call it quits and goodbye.
Yeah, but what did they gain out of letting you go 7 days early and sacking you when you were going anywhere? I don't.
Yeah.
What was it? Just to get back at you, sort of thing.
It was more so of at that time with that news, I was very like shocked, in shock, and I didn't want to know the reason why. And because of that, how I was feeling, I was like, okay, that's fine. I was kind of happy because I was overwhelmed with the challenge anyway.
So obviously, is it because of that? That's what made you cry, getting sacked. I'm asking, like, genuine. Is that what it was? You think? Because if you've never been sacked,
Yeah,
and something that happens, like, you think, bloody hell, like, some people might look at it like a failure or something like that.
That's the thing. I've been fired from like 8 or 9 jobs.
Yeah, so you're a seasoned veteran, like, what's...
Yeah. So this is almost like, oh, another sacking is fine. It's just the fact that all my jobs I've been sacked from.
Why?
Just essentially because I always look for the shortcut and look at the fastest way of doing things. And with accountancy, you need like procedure.
Yeah.
You need to follow the rule book, and they didn't like that. They never liked it
Yeah.
because I was being a junior rule.
But were you still getting the work done? Was the
Oh, yeah.
results, or were you making
yeah.
mistakes with these shortcuts? That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, but the work was done. It's just they didn't have like an audit log. So like step 1 done, step 2, step 3. They didn't have like a record to keep. Those were always missed out. And during like reviews, they're like, Tammy, why you keep on doing this? The issue is I never learned from that. I never recovered from that mistake.
Yeah.
Although the numbers were there, it matched up.
They just, yeah, I see what you
The
mean.
audit trail was always missing, and it's my fault. I take accountability for that. And after a while, realizing why you're getting sacked, Allah had a different plan for me. God had a different plan, and realizing this is the moment I need to move on and find my venture in life.
Okay, so you got sacked. You were leaving anyway. 7 days later to do Asian body coach full time anyway, but you got a week's paid leave effectively. And then obviously you had your backup plan, so it didn't really matter, did it?
Yeah.
You just dive straight in, Asian body coach full time.
Yeah, it was just a bittersweet moment because I couldn't say goodbye to my fellow colleagues who I known for 3 or 4 years. Still haven't spoken to them. A few of them have reached out and we connected, but that was just the hardest part because I don't like leaving on bad terms. I really don't.
Yeah, man, it's tough. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but fast forward 4 years now. We're still here. We're going strong.
So since then, you've been doing. You make your full living, your whole life. You know, your career is Asian body coach.
Yeah, I live and breathe it.
Alhamdulillah, you've done well, bro. I have to say, it's quite inspiring, man.
It's okay.
you've
We
done
still
really
got
well.
we still got a lot of things to do, a lot of things planned in the pipeline. But I'll leave it to God, honestly. If it wasn't for him, answering my prayers, I wouldn't be here, even with Farouk.
Very important, you see. Leave it to the higher power. Right, Tanveer, let's go to a quick break. It was quite a inspiring story. Go to a quick break and we'll jump straight back on. Yeah. Right, we're on full cylinders. So Tanveer, carry on from there. 4 years on, you put your resignation in, they sacked you before it finished. Luckily, you had Asian body coach. Well, you were working towards that anyway. So you jumped straight onto Asian body coach full time, 4 years in. It's still going and it's going strong. Carry on from there. Tell us more about this and where you are and just more about your journey into the Asian body coach and what you've learned and picked up along the way, what mistakes, what advice you'd give to youngsters if they've got a dream or a passion. Because, you've walked that path now. So, yeah.
Yeah,
tell me more.
One thing I'd say is my mantra, especially with the accountancy thing, I was telling Farouk, is I made a lot of mistakes, right? And Farouk was saying, own your mistakes, right? Because your mistakes are your strongest points. But they're not your weaknesses. If you own them and you actually learn from them, you can actually be a better person, a stronger person.
Don't blame others, Don't always blame others. It's easy to blame other people for something that went wrong. That's where people go wrong too much. Sometimes own it. If it was you could have done better. You could have maybe, if I didn't do that, that would have then not happened, and I wouldn't be in this situation. There's, just own it, Again, what does Andrew Tate say? Full accountability. I like that. That's
You
one
have
thing
to
I
take
like.
full
Full
accountability.
accountability. So yeah.
Full accountability. So that's that. Learn from your mistakes, fail your way in life.
So just so I understand, you took what you've learned in accountancy, as in the mistakes you used to make at work and in life, and you've applied them to your, how can I put, what's the word I'm looking for? You've applied them to your to Asian body coach and your approach to business on the past experiences that you've picked up in your other fields and whatnot.
Exactly, because I have a lot of working professionals in the coaching. So just me coming from the corporate life as a South Asian man, as well as in a South Asian household, I can coach them better. So working a 9 to 5 job, eating curry, etc., and what the stresses you go through as an Asian person that's unmarried, etc., the rishta questions, going to weddings, how to handle that? Because I've been through it, right? Although I might not be married, I might obviously realize what struggles you might go through and
Okay,
relate to that.
so can I ask you a question if you don't mind me asking? Why are you not married, or are you still looking, or what's the crack? What, you know, or are you waiting for the right one? What is it that you're telling me? Just tell me your situation as we're on it. We're both Asian. We know how it is. We know the struggle. And I can tell you the other side of the struggle. There's a divorce crisis as well, bro. It's not all hunky dory on the other side. So yeah, don't rush it. But what's your situation like?
Because one thing I realized with Asian body coach is the grass isn't green on the other side. What I mean by that is I don't feel like if I get married, I'll be happier than I already am. And I want to work on myself to be that best man for my spouse, for my wife, because I feel like I've still got things to work on, right? I still got things I want to accomplish and do before that.
So before you get married, what you're saying is you want to, just things you want to do for you first, or become the best version of yourself, or get to your full potential, and then get married, you're saying. So then you'd have more to offer as a person.
Yeah, because I actually believe men peak in their 30s, 30 to 35. That's when they got their best job in their career. They're promoted, they're earning good money, right? They're stable, they're mentally stable, they're tough, they have a good body as well because they've had time to basically work on themselves, and they're more mature. I feel like guys actually mature from 30 to 35. Whereas females, they might peak between from 21 all the way to 25, right, when they're younger. So I feel like for guys to get married, I feel a good age is 30 to 35, and I still have the same view.
Yeah, but see I understand what you're saying, but the sort of argument, or I'll put a counter argument to that, is
Go on, I love arguments.
being a Muslim. Number one, you don't want to womanize and sleep around and stuff like that. Hence, is encouraged that men get married at the earliest opportunity. From an Islamic perspective, let's just take the topic to an Islamic angle, yeah? So 35 is a bit late in that sense, do you know what I mean? And also the other argument is this now, that when you get married in your 20s to someone, you're a lot more adaptable and you grow together, because the problem is by 35, you're so set in your ways as well. It's harder to then, with living with a new spouse, it's just, it takes longer to adjust. That's the counter arguments. Do you see what I'm saying? So what would you say to that?
That's a good point. But at the same time, I feel with what I've seen on the coaching, with coaching Asians, right? Let's say a girl.
Mainly men or women, like, so
both. It's a two-way street. So let's say the female is 24 and the guy is 26. The guy is working probably in Tesco's. There's no offense to anyone that works in Tesco's, but because of like the age and the career, right? I see a lot of struggles between just financial, affecting health, affecting weight loss, affecting everything.
No, but okay, look, let's go back to that then. Let's try and
But let me finish. You'll understand this part.
Okay, go on.
It's the fact that the financial strain it has on their marriage, because they're not able to keep up with each other.
No, but my point is the Tesco angle, right?
Being financially stable.
But that's not, how can I put it? That is not relevant to the marriage, in the sense that if the guy is to progress and want to do better for himself as a person, that's his journey, isn't it? That, how can I put it? Or if he's found himself in a situation where he can only work in Tesco at that time while he's studying, I mean, that is a different angle. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, for example, at 26, you were still accounting. Do you see what I'm saying? So that doesn't apply to, what I'm saying is that formula or model cannot be applied to, say, oh, guys working in Tesco, so they had a financial, but you could argue that, but you're in accountancy, you're making money, you're making peas, bro. How's that relevant to you? Do you see what I'm getting at?
I do agree with that point. I do agree. And I feel right now, usually, if a guy is 26, let's say if he was 24, right now there's a lot of like pressure.
No, but the pressure, okay, so
The
let's talk
pressure
about it.
can't- the
I know you're
pressure is
right,
the
there is
pressure.
pressure, yeah? But where's the pressure from? Is it from the missus?
I know.
Is it from the in-laws?
It's definitely coming from the parents and the in-laws.
What, the girl's parents? And yeah, whose parents? Where's, because you got to understand, because this is a very serious thing you've just said, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So guys say now delay putting off marriage, yeah?
Right, let's say I'm 26,
Uh-huh.
right? Let's say it's coming to the age where I'm getting 27, 28.
Uh-huh.
I've had this personally, so I'll talk about my story. Is that I'm getting to 27, 28, and my parents are like, look, all your cousins are getting married. Right?
They're coming
seeing
of
that.
age, you just get married, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The pressure's coming from there. So all my cousins are married. I'm the last one, believe it or not.
Last of the Mohicans.
So I'm giving this because this might be relevant to someone, but I'm getting all that pressure. I think to myself like, I don't want to rush it. I'm in no rush, but at the same time, I don't give in to pressure. I'm literally a recluse in my family in the sense that self-employed, personal trainer, etc., online coach, and I'm not following the traditional path.
You've broken the mold, yeah.
Breaking the mold, and I thought, all right, if I broke the mold there, surely I can break the mold here a little bit and get away with it because I'm happy, right? And one thing that brings me happiness is actually coaching my clients and getting results. That's truly what I want. And if I find a spouse in the way, right, someone that I connect with, happy days. But if I haven't found her yet, I'm gonna be patient, have that trust in Allah, have that qadr in
No,
Allah.
inshallah. No, I get it, bro. I'm with you totally because every person's on their own journey, and when it happens for you, or when you think you're ready, it's an individual, unique thing.
Exactly.
But what I'm touching on is this specifically, and what you said you've seen now, yeah.
Go on.
So you're saying the grass is not greener. Guy's in his mid-20s. There's all this pressure on him. He's working in Tesco, and what you're sort of insinuated is that because of this financial pressure, it puts a pressure on their marriage. Now, my point is this: if a guy is not earning, or whatever he's earning at that time is not enough in that relationship, yeah. Because, like you said, look, financial struggles everyone faces on some level or other, cost of living, all of this stuff, yeah. How does that correlate from that pressure to pressure in your relationship and marriage? Are you with me? Why is that a negative? If they're both working and they're working together, they love each other, they're supporting each other, that's what marriage is all about, isn't it? Do you see what I'm saying?
I've seen it as a coach.
Tell me more about what you've seen. Yeah, go on. Give me more insight into this.
Because this actually started from even my personal experience that mum and dad struggling financially as a child. And I've seen that dad not being in the best position financially, not being in the best position financially, him not being the best husband because he's always at work. And as a result, the marriage struggles because he's not able to put help with the household, help out with groceries.
But is that okay? My point is okay. Look, let me look at it another way. And considering that our parents are of a different generation, yeah.
Maybe growing up as a child.
Maybe look, we can't get away with the argument. I'm working, I'm providing. That's my job done. Yeah, I'm not right. Maybe we can't get away with that. But my point is, from our parents' generation, him being at work all the time because he should, he's not in the best position, like you said, in employment. So he had to put in extra hours, like overtime and all of this stuff. Yeah, work longer hours. Yeah, to make ends meet. Is that surely not him doing his job as a father?
Probably not. Probably not. Let's be honest. But I'd say I've always had that mentality in my head. If I'm financially stable, I can work my own hours. Right? Like I'm right now. I can make sure I put time away from my kids because I know money's not going to be the priority. Rather, family, kids is going to be the priority. And I feel it's easier to do that once you have the work settled. You're in a good place with your promotion, with your job, which is going to be around about your late 20s, if I'm honest with you. Because I know for sure I would not be ready at 26. 110%. Right? 110%.
Financially ready or emotionally ready? This is where you got to differentiate this. This is what I'm saying. So let's dissect this. You sound like you're not ready yourself as a person, emotionally, mentally, because your journey, you're so focused on what you're doing. Once you get to a certain space, then you're like, right, I'm ready. Yeah. So that's a unique, it's an individual thing. But when you say like, I just look, I say this here. I don't think that you can base on finances alone, because if that's the case, no one's ever financially rich. There's never a financially good time to get married. There's never a financially good time to have a kid. We've gone from one a recession 2007. I mean, let's say someone got married in 2007. They were planning a kid. They're going to say, "Oh crap, we got a recession. You know what? We're not having a kid anymore." Like, there's never a good time.
There never is.
That's what I'm saying.
I do agree with that.
For the masses, I'm saying, like, obviously you know your mind, you know what you want, so I understand that, but that's more an emotional thing, isn't it? It's not a financial thing, I'm saying.
I do agree.
Or is it that you're taking it from your own upbringing or what you saw, and subconsciously you're like, I don't want to be in that position or situation, hence I will establish myself, I will get financially secure, let's say, for want of a better word, or in a financially stable position, then I can just focus on being married and family and a father and kids.
Because I'm all about doing things properly, right? And as you guys probably know, Asian community, 50% divorce rate. It's quite common nowadays.
No, it's more, but 80%. Women are initiated, just to clarify that, and obviously
80%.
You remember what Sheikh Sahel said? Look, firstly, let's address this here. I'll say this again. I'll keep saying this stuff. Yeah. Globally, women are initiating divorce globally globally cross community, culture, and races. Yeah, across the board. Yeah, understand that firstly, including the Muslim, the South Asian community in England, and up to 60 to 80% of women are initiating divorce in the community. So again, when I say to you this, you see how you're looking at it like I'm not ready, is that I understand that because I've been there, yeah? But do not look at it as a destination. You're still looking at it though, the way you're talking is that when I get to this place, then it'll be right, and then I'll get married, and ultimately I'll be a happy husband and a happy father, and we'll have a happy family. That is not a destination, bro. That is just the start of a whole new journey. It's like you conquer this mountain. Yeah. And the thing is, people have this perception, I think, and I was there, I had this perception, bro. Before you get married, you have this subconscious, you're going to say this is subconscious. You have this idea of that destination. Once you're there, you're done. You've achieved everything. You're done. And that is it. It's that place of happiness.
It's not a destination, is
Brother, it's not a destination.
it?
It doesn't exist. It's not a destination. It'll be a whole new chapter, and it'll bring us whole new challenges, yeah? And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing. This is a good thing. But see the way you're looking at it, I can see it, because I used to look at it like that. I'll do this, this, and this, then I'll get there, find the one, and then I'll be happy, bro. The one up sometimes I think don't exist, man, unfortunately.
I think the thing Farouk is trying to get at is you grow together. The minute you start, when you get married, it's like it's a two-way street. It takes two to tango, right?
Okay, look, no, marriage is a very complex subject, yeah. So as we're on it, let's talk about it a bit more, as we're already on it now, yeah. Now, firstly, finding a spouse in the South Asian community can be challenging in itself, yeah. Then cultures, for example, I'm Gujarati, you're Bangladeshi, we know a lot of Pakistani brothers, Punjabi brothers, Sikh brothers, Hindu brothers. Within the different religions and sects within the South Asian community, they have little traditions and rituals and customs that they operate in, yeah, and how they operate. They bring more complications. This expectation from society, again, like you said, the pressure from society and community, like, oh, you're at the age you need to get married. Now, no one's, how can I put it? It is a pressure that's there that you feel. And sometimes people slip up and make a mistake because of the pressure. Everyone's telling me I should be, maybe I should be. Do you see what I'm saying? So marriage in itself is a very complicated thing. Now, combined with that marriage, obviously the gender wars, like I said, were playing out. The power shift lays with the women. And in the Gujarati community up north, women are demanding houses, cars, six-figure salaries up front. Yeah? This is what I'm trying to say to you. There's a lot of demand, yeah? For a woman, just her job is I just turn up, sort of thing. That's my job. But you need to provide this.
It's hard on the boys, isn't it?
So now it's even harder. There's even more pressure on the boys, yeah? Now add to that the situation which we've said, the divorce crisis that is going on, yeah? How does one protect himself? This is just coming out now. We're just learning about the exposure around the family court system, as we've talked about on a few occasions, and what is going on and the chaos, yeah? So look at how many angles that someone has to tackle marriage. It is a very complex, how can I put it? It is a very rough terrain, mate, to navigate. Do you know what I mean?
And just even thinking about it gives me a headache.
Brother, it should, man. Do
But
not take it lightly. And you're not. You're doing the right thing. You're not rushing it. You're not
yeah,
being pressured. You're going to take your time. But
yeah, because as I mature, I'm able to like set boundaries and know exactly what to do to protect myself, right? To give me the best chance. Because I want a successful marriage. I don't want to rush into it. I think the thing that puts me off is just seeing what's happened in my family in terms of divorces and how that's worked out so messy. And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want that, right? So there's no rush, right? I don't feel like you should rush, but at the same time, you should make the mindful effort and
okay, let's
do
take it from a
something.
different angle, yeah, because you're you're
Go
you're the perfect guinea pig, so to speak, yeah.
on.
Because you're from sort of that side. I've been from that side all the way through it, chewed up, spat out, and on the other side, and here on this podcast in this orange suit now, yeah. How would you see it as someone who's say on the market, yeah? So let's go back to the marketplace. As someone who is now young, successful Bangladeshi businessman, qualified accountant. So you're a qualified guy and you're running your own business and whatnot. Yeah. How do you? I forgot the questions about to ask. Flipping it. I got lost in my own speech. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah. So how do you see this as looking for a spouse? How do you? How can I put it? Another question. Yeah. How do you see the next step? So looking for a spouse, what does that look like to you? Oh no, sorry. The question was this. I remember now. How do you see this as? How would you protect yourself? So from what you know, from everything you know now, yeah, just as you are, everything you've learned, what you've seen in your family, like you said, how would you protect yourself? Tell me.
Okay.
I'm curious to just know what you would say.
I see myself as a pious man. I see myself as religious. So I feel like being a God fearing individual, a Muslim man, right? If I was to get married, right, we'll make sure we're on the same terms. I'll make sure I give the right, I'll
Okay,
make sure
same terms in what
the
sense?
spouse is happy, but get a religious marriage, right? It doesn't have to be one that's English,
So okay, so just to clarify, you're saying
a Islamic
do a
marriage.
nikah only.
Yes.
So your first line of protection is, and he's right, your first line of protection is do not. I know a lot of Bangladeshi brothers have been coerced into the registry. So
Mm-hmm.
first point there, nikah only, right? So okay, I'll give
Yeah.
you 10 points for that.
Yeah, because Islam, that's the only thing needed as a religious man. That's the only thing needed to become like
Okay, and how would you
married.
clarify anything else? Because you got to understand, bro, to a certain degree, this is a negotiation. At the start of the negotiation, bro, it's not like something where it's not like a business contract you'll just tear up and
Yeah,
walk out, yeah? So people will nod and agree to anything.
yeah,
So you're saying you're a pious man, you only visualize nikah as
yeah,
what is mandatory and you'll only do nikah, yeah?
yeah.
What other things will you clarify? Just from a point of learning for
With
all of us.
the actual Islamic marriage, right? I want the female to be protected. I want my future spouse to be protected. So even in the nikah contract, like, look, they might think, all right, he's only getting an Islamic marriage. He's avoiding the registry office. He might leave any time. He might do this, all right? As a protection, I want my wife to feel secure, protected. So in the nikah contract, you can put like, look, if he leaves me, 5, 10 grand, right?
Okay, that's
As a
not a
little
bad
like,
idea. So meher. So let's call it the meher, yeah.
yeah,
So you could stipulate that I will give you to give you some security and protection.
yeah,
You would stipulate 10k on your meher, yeah.
yes,
For those obviously who are non-Muslim, meher is a fixed amount that you agree upon giving to your wife as a financial gift upon marriage, and if you divorce or whatnot, she is entitled to that money, yeah.
yeah,
So you would stipulate a certain figure on meher, or just to say if we separate, I'll give you this much. Not meher, is that what you're saying?
yeah. If we separate,
So only yes, so it's not meher. Forget the meher. You're saying you would stipulate in the marriage contract that if I walk,
yeah. But meher is fine. She can have meher on top of that.
so forget. Okay, put the meher aside. So look, let's take
Yeah.
that back. You're saying
If
we'll have a fixed amount of 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever, some figure to say that if I divorce you, then I will give you this much to give you some security. Yeah.
yeah, more than happy to.
Okay,
Because
that's fine. Yeah.
I'd want the same thing for my daughter as well. If we're just getting an Islamic marriage over English marriage.
No, no, don't get confused, brother.
Yeah.
You see these thoughts and everything you're saying. Yeah.
That's how I look at it. That's my viewpoint.
Brother, no, no, but I understand that's your viewpoint. But when you've been through the system, yeah, you understand the system differently. This is a very noble position. I get it, bro. But when you're going through court, for example, there are practicing sisters who are denying their own daughters access to their father
Yeah.
for financial gain. So this is, in theory, these are nice things. I want good things for my daughters, bro. I've got 2 daughters. You know, I don't see them. I ain't seen them since March 16, 2022. Who cares? My point is,
Yeah.
you cannot think this, and this is what men do. You see what you just did there. This is what you call a man's primal instinct until his eyes open to the reality of what the world and society we live in, yeah? You see, your automatic thinking was to protect women. I wouldn't do that to her because I wouldn't want that for my daughter. That's how men operate primarily. The family court system, and you know the women and the potentials you're going to see, they know this. They will clock this. This is what they see as weakness, unfortunately. This is a harsh reality. It might sound like I'm talking, might sound extreme, I don't know, but you see what you did there. That will be picked up on. So in these marriage negotiations, women will see that differently to how I've seen it. Do you see what I'm saying? That is man's primal instinct to protect women. I wouldn't want this happening to my daughter or sister. Hence, women know this innately.
Yeah, but this is just an argument to like, look, the reason
but I'm saying from an educational perspective, because when people are nice like this, yeah, this is when brothers are getting caught out. They get taken advantage of, yeah. So look, I understand that figure. No problem. You can do that. What if she divorces you? Is she still entitled to that figure? I'm just throwing the question out there.
I haven't thought about that, I'll be honest.
Because like I said, women are initiating divorce. I'm not saying men don't do it, but women are initiating it. It is now being...
That's if she initiates it as to protect me, let's be honest. Like, look, this is if I leave her.
This is, right? Okay, yeah, clarify.
So
so that makes
if
sense.
I leave her,
then
right,
you're
I
paying
pay
her
10K.
her money, which I think is a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, and that protects her, that gives her comfort. But if she decides to initiate divorce for whatever reason, right, she won't be entitled to that money, right? Because we might have kids, it might affect them, and I don't feel like divorce should be something that...
Brother, divorce is unfortunately, as nice as people want to make it is messy, and 9 out of 10 times it gets messy. Yeah?
It does, and I don't want that for the kids. So that's something I'll stipulate.
No, but then you got to understand this, and this is what I'm trying to say to you. This is actually a good conversation because, okay, now imagine you have kids, yeah. So you've done nikah only, yeah, and this is just so that people watching can understand as well, yeah. The young brothers watching, your viewers as well. You've done nikah only, yeah, and you've got kids. If she takes control and residency of the children, do you understand that she will be financially incentivized? Yeah. So I understand you're trying to be the good husband, the good father. You're going to have a stipulation. I don't want it to go through that, especially if we've got kids. Now, number one, you automatically, even not going through the system, you automatically understand. You said that in a manner that you understand she's going to have the kids. So you innately understand the mother is walking away with the kids, not father. That is an accepted societal position right now, yeah?
It's quite common.
It is very, brother, it's 90% of cases, right? So she's going to walk away with the kids, but the laws and the government here will protect her, and child maintenance services, family court after that will be aligned against you fully. Now, because you've stipulated that in your nikah, yeah, you're going to lose that 10, 15, whatever you said. If you have a home together, or it's called the family home, yeah, even if it's in your name or you purchased it prior to getting married, like you said, you want, and this is where the problem, this is where brothers are getting caught out. Let's go back to let's back the conversation up. Yeah? You said, I want to get financially stable and independent, so I'm going to sacrifice these young years in my 20s, mid-30s, and then when a man fully matures, so I have more to offer my spouse, yeah? So you've built yourself up, you worked, you made the sacrifice, you got married late to establish yourself. So that clearly tells me you're bringing in the money to this marriage, yeah? And you're a good man. You want to be able to provide, be your best self and be able to provide for your spouse. This is what most men do. This is how men perceive, and this is what I'm trying to say. Young men and men's primal instinct is, this is how they view the family. It's one unit. I will provide for my missus and children because they're my unit, yeah? I'll protect them. When a woman comes into a relationship, and look, people may sound like I'm extreme or rhetoric, but this is now being proven and seen, yeah? Especially with the sisters that, do not let their children see their husband's parents and stuff like that because they keep that control, yeah? Women know this, because women are looking at it, me, kids, us, what am I getting, yeah? So you've brought all of this to the table, you've done nikah only. Do you know that if that marriage went south or wrong, if depending on how many years, if
I completely know that. That's the thing.
Hey,
I know this like in and out just because I've seen it happen to other like clients, and what they experience with their mental health,
yes.
right? So like,
No, but what I'm saying is about 35, you worked up. My point is, if that goes south, yeah, all the work you've done up until that point, yeah. So let's say you got married at early 30s, married for 5 to 8 years, so that would be classed as a long-term marriage.
mm,
You could potentially still lose if she's got the kids, she's got residency, she's got the home. You're out the house, bro. So everything you worked for from your 20s into your 30s, the sacrifices you made, the losing the jobs, all of this stuff, you put it at risk. This is the reality that people. That I'm only saying this because
because
to
the odds are
educate
against me,
people,
isn't it? You know,
big time.
and educate the viewers, anyone that's listening that's similar to myself. And I think the best stance you can take is that look, the spouse you look for, right? Make sure she's a pious woman. You get along with her, and you see her future.
Okay,
That
let me
kind of
ask you
thing.
a question then. Yeah? And this is where, just for we can both learn, the viewers can learn, everyone can
Mm.
learn. How do you know a woman's pious? Because look, I tell you now, in the family court, we got you know like alimaz, yeah.
Mm.
Not just alimaz sisters, not they're on the front line, yeah, in the family court, yeah, to take husbands home, their family home, yeah. Totally against Sharia and Islamic law. It is haram to her, bro, but they don't care. In family court, bro, they're atheists. Everyone's atheist. And I'll go as far as saying, bro, there's head alimaz that train other alimaz, yeah. There's sisters like that even there in the family court, playing the victim, accusing the husband and his grandparents of being extremists because they pick
Mm.
Quran at home. Every card you can imagine, bro. I assure
Mm.
you, they are atheists. So when you're sitting there, I know many guys that marry sisters because they had hijabs, niqabs, Bismillah, Alhamdulillah. They say all the right things, bro. Trust me, yeah. Now, how would you know in your mind what would satisfy you to know that this is a pious woman? I'm asking you because I want you to think about this. I want people your age and youngsters out there who are thinking, I want them to think about this. What quantifies a pious woman? So let's say, what is your perception of how would you know a woman's pious?
To start off with, a pious woman, someone that prays, does her fours in life, which is the 5 daily prayers, right? Someone that wants to grow with you and learn about Islam, right? That's mine. Someone wants to grow and learn about the religion. Someone that fears Allah. Someone that actually wants kids and wants a stable father figure and knows her masculinity and femininity. Right? So a feminine woman and a masculine woman makes a home, right? And they're actually in tune with that. They have they have good parents, right? Parents that are still together, not divorced, right? And she values that. And I think it's big.
Okay, I'll give you some add to that. No, this is good.
Go
Now,
on,
to add to that, you could argue. Now, let me tell you, like I would
go
have
on.
said all the stuff when I was you many moons ago. I would have said all of these things as well. Maybe not the masculine and feminine thing. It wasn't fully out then. Never,
Yeah.
it
But
wasn't
I do
out like it is
believe
now.
in
Yeah?
that. I think that will
No, it's
help her.
right. No, you can believe in it. But what I'm saying
Mm.
to you is, because look, everyone puts their best foot forward before. Because look, to a certain degree, people want to get it over the line. Yeah, so there is some elements of deception that plays out in the community. Number one, yeah. So we got to gauge for that. Now, beyond that, what I'm saying to you, you got to look deeper now, yeah? You got to look for trauma. Now, she could do all of those things, yeah, but she could have a borderline personality disorder, for example. How would you know? And this is
Mm.
what a lot of Asian women from our community are suffering with. It's coming out, like I see fathers all day, every day, same old pattern. They play the victim. They believe they're the victim. Some of them believe their husband are monsters because of the trauma that they have grown up around or what they saw mom and dad go through, struggling for
Mm.
money. It has manifested into their relationships now. So what you need to gauge for, like Dr. Asif himself said on the previous podcast, gauge for trauma. So she may appear, family appears all good on the surface, but you need to look below the surface.
Mm, I agree.
Talk to her about her relationships with her mum and dad. You need to firstly make her feel comfortable with you, as in, so I'm talking, you're not going to do it in the first conversation, yeah?
Yeah, you need to ask the right
Over the
questions.
period, no, my point is, look,
No,
everything you're saying, like, there's a checklist. If you go by the religious checklist, you know, she prays 5 times, she's got a hijab,
but
she's got
find out
niqab.
more about her trauma, her
You
childhood
need to
trauma.
find out about the personality. Look, everything you said, the problem with that is, and like I
Mm.
said, bro, we were talking to a sister the other day. She was talking about femininity, masculinity. Everyone talking. There's a sister I was talking to the other week, right? Yeah.
All right.
And
Do
she
do I
said,
know her?
no names mentioned, and there's something she said that stuck with me.
What was that?
And remember, understand this, yeah? High flying sister, mashallah, very eloquent, right? Yeah. She goes that. I know my femininity, but he has to be equal or above financially, qualifications, career-wise, then I'll show femininity. So prior to that, if the man is not qualified or he earns less or this and that, guess what? She automatically, subconsciously demasculated him because I will not show him femininity. Think about that. People don't look below the surface. What that means.
This is what actual female said, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I will be in my feminine if it's equal or above. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. What's the point I was making again? Yeah, so my point is, look, the checklist, all of this, we can go with the checklist, the typical Asian checklist, yeah?
Okay. But you're saying trauma is a big thing.
I'm saying you need to look deeper. So my point is you need to gauge deeper into someone's personality. So
Yeah, I
as
agree.
time progresses, bro, this is not a question or a tick box thing that you will know, yeah? Secondly, chemistry. You need to put value on chemistry. Can you bounce off each other? When I say level, bro, we don't mean financially or via qualifications and all this other crap, yeah? I'm talking, do you bounce off each other? Does she get your jokes? Do you joke back? Is it a natural flow? Let me tell you something about chemistry, and this is all for all the
Go on.
youngsters, yeah?
Go on.
Someone could argue, how do you know you got chemistry? You don't. You won't know if you got chemistry. But do you know what you will know? You will know if you don't have chemistry. Because whenever you're talking to someone, if a conversation's awkward or you don't know what to say or you don't know how to respond, guess what? It's not a natural flow. There's no natural chemistry. It's a bad move. Straight away, yeah? If you have natural chemistry where you can have a natural flow of conversation back and forth there, yeah, then slowly, as you get to know her, do a long engagement, get to know her. Phone her every day, talk on the phone, get to know her. As you get to know her, start questioning her in a natural conversation. I don't mean like a straight question. Get to know what her relationship with her brothers like, her sisters, how are her brothers sisters with each other. Talk about her mum and dad. Find out what struggles they had growing up. Find out what trauma she was exposed to. That and that will give you an indication of what she's like, what she's about, what she's seen. Does she start talking when she opens up? Does she start saying negative things about her dad or mum, like indirectly negative, brother or sister? Gauge what sort of a household it was. On top of everything you said, but the checklist is good. But my point is, checklist is too black and white, bro. It's not that easy. Do the checklist, but chemistry, gauge for trauma, see how the inter-family relationships are. Yeah, see how talk to her about her uncles and aunts. How are they? The extended family, are they tight? Are they close? Do you see what I'm saying? Does she start bitching about one of her uncles or whatnot? You need to start clocking these sort of things.
What do you feel like in your experience you should have asked?
Mate, there's nothing again.
Everything like that.
Nothing.
Or the trauma you feel like you've seen that you could have.
The thing is, I could never have known what I know. Right, we are back. Things were just getting juicy. Where were we, Tambi? Remind me.
So
we can carry on.
asking the girl right questions. Trauma, looking into that, how she deals with her family members, uncles, mums, dads. What's the relationship like with them?
Interrelations. Okay, so let's go back to this. Number one, this is my number one, yeah? Is look, my point is, I think it's very hard to measure if someone's pious. You can see if someone's praying namaz, I get it. But like I said, none of that shows, like, I could show you people that pray 5 times namaz, give zakat, go hajj 2-3 times a year, got massive beards and all of that. But in their personal affairs, bro, there's not one little bit of Islam in their personal affairs. Yeah, when it comes to their own, they will lie, they'll go to family court, they'll do everything. Like we said, Ali, our sisters on the front line. So I would say to all the youngsters out there, all of that is just a fantasy. It don't mean shit. That tick box religious exercise, it's an absolute fantasy. I think it's a waste of time personally. But yes, you can look on the surface that they appear to be practicing. And a lot of families as well, when you're getting married, remember this, yeah? The practicing angle is used to get the marriage over the line.
Yeah.
I know situations where the whole family wear hijabs and everything, yeah? Come after the wedding, right? Girls going to that side or the boys going to that side. They look, mate, no one's wearing hijabs going after the wedding day. Well, funny that, isn't it? Yeah? Yeah, trust me, there's been a lot. People will do anything to get it over the line. Number one. So, like I said, look, if you look at my other videos, which I'll point out some of my videos, the community marriage scam. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah, my older videos before I connected with you. Check them out. The community marriage scam. We go into detail about all of this and we talk about this. Yeah. So look, pious is good and great. My question to you and others is, how do you measure piety? For me, is you measure it in your personal affairs. So what I'll say to you is this: measure how pious she is, yeah, by creating a scenario like, you know, the old classic where someone says, how do you see if a guy's arrogant? Go to a restaurant, see how he talks to the waiter, for example, yeah. So I don't know what that situation right now is, but take her somewhere to an environment where you can bring out her true nature or character. Walk past, I don't know, a homeless guy or a tramp or someone begging. See how she responds. Do you see what I'm saying? Without you saying anything, create a scenario,
Tester.
see how she responds. Take her to an expensive restaurant one day, and then take her to a complete dive the other day. See how she treats them. The other one is as well, I'll say, is go to a restaurant where there's old Uncle G's working from back home. See how she talks to them and respects them, how she talks about them, yeah? I also do these little things just to bring out, you're going to have to create a scenario where you bring out her true character. So look, you're going to have to do these little tests. Secondly, I think the most important thing is this: chemistry. As I'll say this again, yeah? You won't know if, how do you know that you've got chemistry? As I said to you, you don't know that. You will know if you do not have chemistry. When you're talking to someone at work, home, the bus stop, in a club, wherever, when the conversation is awkward, you both feel it. It's that energy that you feel. It's a bit awkward. It's not natural. You're almost both. It's like almost you're acting. And you know when you're awkward with someone, you're not yourself. You know that feeling. That's when you know there's no natural energy, no natural chemistry. Big red flag. Make a note. You might just not be compatible in that sense. That's another big important thing for me. Yeah. Also, when you do get it over the line, like over the line, I'll say this. We'll talk about this in a little bit. Yeah, obviously we're still on this subject. Yeah, is you need to put. So let's say you've met. Look, let's say you met a girl. You got chemistry. She's pious, and all of these things are in place to increase the chances of that marriage being successful. Right? Yeah, number one. Yeah, I say keep it simple. Do nikah, few family, friends, this and that. Don't need a big hoo ha. Yeah, keep it simple. And in the Bangladeshi community, I know a lot of brothers were complaining that they give meher, and culturally they demand gold and certain amount of money on top of the meher. Yeah, that is against Islam. And to all my Bangladeshi brothers, stand up against this cultural ritual that is putting more pressure on young men. The only way change can come if these young men stand up and do not succumb to all of these cultural rituals and pressures. Say, listen, meher could be 100 quid, 200 quid, 500 quid, 1,000, 50. Let's say at max 2 grand, but all this 5, 10 grand meher on top of that 5, 10 grand's worth of gold and this dress and that Gucci bag. Listen, it's all nothing to do with Islam. Boys, stand up to this. Do not succumb to this. It's become a business. I know Bengali brothers who've gone back home to get married, yeah? They've agreed £20,000 meher, yeah? Guess what? Before they've left Bangladesh, yeah, the missus, soon as the nikah's done, yeah, guess what? The girl, her whole family completely turned. Real nasty. The guy divorced her before he left Bangladesh. But do what they said? Yeah, but Islamically, £20,000 meher is written. You need to pay that money. It's a setup. It's a scam. The whole thing's a scam. You know how many brothers, Bengali brothers, this has happened to? I know brothers that this happened to Bangladesh. It's a complete scam, bro. But you brothers need to stand up now. Stand up to all of this. You need to stop putting up with this shit. The youngsters are gonna bring the change.
Yeah,
Sorry, bro.
that is absolutely mad and horrific for once.
Yeah,
Imagine having
bro.
that to me or even someone that you know or even yourself. That's
Exactly, bro.
absolutely
This
mad.
is a lot going on. If
Bloody
all
hell.
if all the boys stand up and stop, what do you call it, falling into this? Because like I said, they're young and naive, bro. They're naive in the sense that they still have that primal instinct. I want to do the best, be the best version of myself, provide for my spouse, and all of this and that. These are good things, bro. But unfortunately, women are fully tuned into all of this. I hate to say it. They are fully tuned in to that primal behavior from men. And women know deep down the law is with them. You're not married, you ain't got kids, but you know the kids are going with the mum. You know this. Social conditioning. You've seen other breakups in the community. We know this. This is now common knowledge that the kids are going with mum. Once kids go with mum, dad's got no rights, fully compromised, he's got no leverage, and he's potentially due to take a massive financial hit. Imagine now all the work you've done with Asian Body Coach at 40 years old, you've lose all your CMS on your case, you've lost the house that you've built and provided, yeah? Even though Islamically that's your home upon breakup, Islamically, I assure you,
Yeah.
when it breaks up, yeah, none of these pious sisters care about what Islam says. And not just that, these pious sisters have simp brothers and fathers who get behind this. And I call them munafiqs. They are munafiqs because guess what? They support this openly. I know practicing brothers, Imam, I know practicing brothers that work for TV channel that have robbed brothers' houses. I know an imam, right? A very famous imam with a very famous charity up north in Leicester, yeah? Check this. He has married a divorcee woman, yeah? Which is very nice. This divorcee woman secured her house through the family courts by alleging rape allegations and abuse allegations against her children, against the ex-husband, to make him sign the house over, yeah? Put these allegations. And this imam lives in this house with this woman who acquired it through haram means. This is what's going on, brother. And these are our leaders. These are our imams. There's brothers from this certain Muslim TV channel, yeah, went up into this area, turned up in this area, along with an imam. The young imam's not even married, bro. The kid's a virgin. He's a kid. That's what he is. Him, along with all these school mums, rocked up at this geezer's house, and they took furniture and belongings with no one ever even spoke to the man in that house, bro. So I assure you now, bro, this assumption of piety, religion, community, elders, practicing imam, they're all sellouts. Well, there's munafiqs and sellouts, and the community is being destroyed from within. There's destruction is from within coming out because this ideology has fully penetrated. And unfortunately, bro, and I say
Yeah.
this with a heavy heart, a lot of the women I think have fallen into this. Once women fall, society falls. Our women have been, our culture's been fully targeted. Last 10 years and 5 years, it is flying high quick. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a rant. Yeah, sorry, but go carry on. Talk to me.
But what Farouk is doing is obviously raising awareness to what is actually happening in the real world. Because there might be youngsters, even youngsters around my age, that haven't been married before, haven't been exposed to this stuff, right? And sometimes just having a listen to this podcast and all the other podcast clips that Farouk has done is quite insightful. It's actually quite beneficial. And I think we should be educating ourselves and knowing what's out there on the other side, right?
What I'll say is this, right? So youngsters out there, I'll give you another trick. Like, so for example, if you
Mm-hmm.
buy a house, you need to make sure you somehow either get that property in your mum and dad's name. So you fund it, and if you can, get your mum and dad onto the deeds, the mortgage, or
What about
something like that.
sister as well? Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, yeah, get your sister on there as well. Brothers and sisters, a little bit more complicated, so I don't want to go into it too much right now. I'm going to make a full video eventually to tell you what you can do, yeah, how to make a framework on protecting your assets. Because look, think about this. Right now, sisters are initiating divorce. Then they realize all this grass is not green on the other side, which you've noticed in your work as well, I'm sure. And you know, when I was on with that sister Fahima, very clever sister, life coach again, coaches many women. Grass is not greener on the other side. Now, the problem is when you've got these financial incentives, the government has incentivized um, divorce for women. It is incentivized. Women, we know this, bro. We know this, but to the extent that I am telling you now, you don't understand to what extent. To the extent that you will be in a position where you will contemplate taking your own life. That is how brutal divorce is on a man compared to a woman. Women are incentivized and rewarded, especially if they are mothers. If you've got children as well, she will be fully incentivized. Now, if she's fully incentivized, my point is you've got no leverage. Hence, her position in the marriage is if things go bad, let's say for argument's sake, you said you need masculine and feminine, yeah? What if she decides 2, 3, 4 years in the marriage, you're noticing she don't want the feminine, bro. She wants the masculine. She wants you to be the feminine. She's telling you where your kids go and don't go. She tells you why are you going to your mum and dad's house? Why are kids going there? She starts telling you what are you going to do. Let's put this out there straight, yeah. You go through this whole checklist. You got married, yeah. To all the youngsters out there, you've gone through the checklist. She's pious. She prays. Her brother, her nephew claims to be an imam. They're all on the deen, Hafiz, all of this fake ass shit that they do, right? Yeah, in the community, there are a lot of legit people as well. Don't get me wrong, legitly practicing as well. There's some people also legitly practicing,
Yeah,
but
there's
when it
definitely
comes to
legit
their
people.
own daughter or son, all that goes out the window. The blinkers come on. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. Understand that, yeah. These were practicing people up until the point it affected one of their kids or young ones. Then they don't care, bro. Islam's gone out the window. Screw him. He's the enemy. Remember that, yeah. That's what happens. Go back to my original point, which I forgot what I was making. Yes. So you're in this marriage now, yeah. 2, 3. Let's say forget even long term. Say 2 years in, you've had a kid. 3 years in, you've got a little baby, 1 year old now, yeah. She starts saying, "Forget this feminine crap. I'm not a feminine. I'm not in my feminine. I'd rather be a feminist." She starts saying, she starts directly or indirectly, because some do it covertly, some do it overtly, yeah. She starts exercising authority either or, covertly or overtly. She starts indirectly trying to control you because she's saying to you, "Where's the kids going?" She's mum, you know. She got your kid. You going work, bro. You got to go work. You got customers to deal with. You got women. You got diet programs to write and workouts to plan. You come home and you said to her, "Did you pop out today? Did you take our kids to see, say, my mum and dad, grandparents?" Yeah. She goes, "No, I didn't get a chance." Come next week, guess what? She's not taking the kids to the grandparents again. You can't go because you're working. Yeah. So you said, "Babe, we're a team. Like you said, I'm the best I can be. I'm here to provide a house, all of this. Why didn't you go?" But no, I went to my mum and dad's instead. No problem. It's all good. Come week after, and then you realize she's categorically has distancing, using the children and not connecting with your mum and dad. She's controlling that bond. What are you going to do? Then she says to you, and in some cases I've known, they've openly said, "You don't go to your mum and dad's anymore. You go with me for 1 hour, we're back done, but we go to my mum and dad's for a whole weekend. It's all good. You keep your head down, yeah?" This is real life things that have happened. Now I'm saying to you, she was in her feminine when you married her. She ticked all these boxes, yeah? She starts playing these games with you 2 years, 3 years in. What do? Tell me this. Because look, you're on one side, I've been there. I know how you see it, I know how you understand it. I've come through a long, long road, yeah.
Because I'd say the biggest thing is if that's gonna happen.
No, you don't know that.
We don't know that. Whether it's
No,
not,
but
I'd rather be. That's the thing. Let me see.
No, I'm saying to you, it's happened. No, but what I'm trying to say to you, you don't know this.
It can happen. That's the thing.
No, I'm saying to you this. What the question is this. She was in her feminine when you met her. She was respectful. She was pious. She was everything you wanted, yeah?
I do believe people will change.
No, people can change, but my point is that when you change, okay, someone can change as in they don't like ice. They like one ice cream, they don't like that ice cream anymore. They're maybe a little bit more moody, a little bit more short-tempered. But my point is, when you try and exert authority over someone and you use your children, you try and exert control. When you try and control a grown man and stop him from going to see his own mum and dad and play these games, emotional games, yeah, which men are not accustomed to playing, yeah. I'm saying to you, you feel compromised. You can't explain it. You don't know how to articulate this, but you know your masculinity is being challenged. What the question is this? I need you to try and put yourself there in those shoes. 3 years in, you're trying to play happy families. You can see you're being challenged, and you're challenged on all of this, especially with your side of the family, you and the kids, and your side of the family.
Yeah, because it's all well and good if it happens once or twice, right?
You know it's the pattern, bro.
It might happen, but if the pattern keeps on reoccurring,
what do? I'm asking you how. You got your kid. You got a 1-year-old kid.
Good question. So let's say I have a 1-year kid and I have my wife, right? But I told her, look, the grandparents want to see my son, daughter, etc. They really want to see them. But let's say she's literally
Playing games.
Might not take her to the grandparents, and I've given her chances, right? But the first chance, let's say she missed that, okay, I have a talk with her, right? And let's say the second time happens, that's when it's red flag. And for me personally, I'll give them chances. But if that chance keeps on getting missed, my masculinity is going to be compromised. I'm not going to feel like a man. Who's the guy with the pants in the
look, let me put it this way. When you've been challenged that way, you'll know you've been challenged. Yeah? It's not something is said. It's not something you'll feel it, you'll know, yeah? But my question to you is this. Understand what I'm trying to get to, yeah? What will you do? You talk, you have a chat. 2 weeks later, she's back to square one. You talk, have a chat. 3 months later, she's back to square one. You lose your head completely. You get peed off. What my point is, understand the end position. What do you do? And this reality, when boys find themselves there, bro, they are depressed, they are lost, they head down, they move towards the in-laws, they just play the game because they don't know what else to do.
I can see where it's going. It's like there's not much you can do.
Exactly.
Let's be honest, right?
Right. Okay. Now, no. This is good. You've established something now, which is good that you've had this understanding now. Your options are limited. Her options are vast because of the society and the laws we have in place around mums, divorce, and single mums, yeah? And the resident parent in family court. We know the power they have. You're already compromised. You know this now, yeah? Do you understand how compromised you are? You pull a wrong move, technically, will you see that kid again? Will you be homeless? So this is where you need to leverage position. So if, for example, she's not to gain a house out of it, yeah, she might not be as pushy. My point is, look, her end position might be that, hold on, you've had an argument, yeah? Look, I'm sure you've had an argument with a woman before. Shit happens. You can have an argument, go back and forth. Sometimes you can argue with a man. It gets heated. It happens, yeah? It's very normal. You've had a heated argument, yeah? No one wants to back down. her end position still is the law, the finances, the children, all the power still lays with her. You, like you said, on my option, well, there's nothing really I can do, is there? So my point is this: we need to leverage as much power back to you so the power stays in the middle. So it's interest of both parties to be sensible and carry on. But when one party is fully incentivized, like they hold all the power, yeah, eventually human nature, bro, they will throw their weight around. That's the bottom line. So what you need to do is leverage power. How do you do that? Remove the financial incentives. So number one, make sure you're either living in a rented property or the property you have is protected through financial framework. Brothers, sisters, mum, dad. That's like I said, it's a separate conversation we're going to, but she's not going to gain a house straight away, and she's not going to get any equity out of a house. My point is, you've now removed financial incentive, yeah? Once that incentive is gone, yeah, guess what? She's more likely, or either or, I'll say this for, look, let me put it this way. Let's not make it about women, yeah? Either or, whichever party provided the house, they need to make sure the house and their asset prior to marriage that they brought to the marriage is protected to leverage power where the other person doesn't think, well, I'm going to gain out of this if this goes wrong. Remove that notion of me gaining if this goes wrong. Either or, boy or girl, it don't matter, yeah? So that's the first thing you need to do. And then I say to you is this, look, yeah, you meet a pious woman, yeah? What if she's working full time? She's earning 50, 60, 70, 80 bags. But she says, Islamically, this is my money. You have to provide everything. Every sister knows that hadith for some reason, yeah? Practicing, non-practicing. I'm sure even non-Muslim sisters are coming out with that hadith. But you're Muslim. Listen, mate, everyone knows it, yeah? If she came out with that hadith, what would you say? So she's pious. You've got chemistry. You've got all the other tick box stuff that you were looking for. You got that. And she's working and she's earning like serious money. But she says to you,
Basically,
Islamically, you provide, and all of that. Like, what do you say to that?
she
Then?
will say, "My money is my money. Your money is my money."
Yeah,
That's what she says, right?
they're all saying that, bro. They're doing it and
It's
they've abused it as well. Many have abused it, and family court now kept their money, and now they've fleeced their husband's money, which is against Islamic law, against Sharia, that is haram to her, and she's taking the kids, and the poor guy's left with nothing in his 30s, 40s, 50s, don't know what to do, bro. His options are limited.
no, that's the reason I'll come back to the fact that I wait until I'm 29 in my 30s, just because I make better decisions and you have more experience of dealing with people.
So yeah, go back to this.
You see what I mean?
But we need to understand what your
Because there is
we need to understand what the young mindset is now, yeah. And this is the opportunity where it was just very good that we managed to get to this conversation from two different angles, yeah.
I think it's good.
If she says that to you, and I am putting you on the spot a little bit because I want to see what your core natural reaction is here. She says to you, okay, look, we're going to be happy. We've got all of this. I want everything you want. Yeah, I've been earning six figures. I've got money tucked away. And I'm a professional optician, lawyer, doctor, whatever, yeah. Whatever it is. She says to you, no, but my money's my money because that's what Islam says, yeah. What would you say to that? And put you on the spot, right? So she's now thrown that hadith at you. You like her, she likes you. You think this, can be really happy. She throws that one on you. What do you do? Instinctively, what would you say? Or what would you think other youngsters would say to that, your age, or people in your circles? What have they said about this?
I feel like a lot of guys will accept it.
They do. A lot of guys unfortunately.
A lot of guys will accept it,
Well,
including me. Just coming from like looking after the family, taking on board the financial strain. A lot of guys will do it. And there isn't much we can actually say back to that.
Okay, that's where you're wrong. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what many thought. Because men are primal. Yeah, you're right. It is my job. I provide this what Islam says, and it's very good.
But I'd say back to her, like, look, are you completing your fard? Are you doing your prayers? You're saying this, which is what, Sunnah?
No, it's part of Islam. A man in
so
Islam, a woman's money is her money. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically a fard, right? But is she completing like her other fards? Because you're throwing this at me, but are you completing your prayers?
No, this is what you got to say. So the problem with that is, and you're right. This is what young men would say, and I'm gonna tell all of you now. Don't do that. Don't go for that. That is the oldest trick in the book. The brothers now, they've lost their homes and their life's work in family court because they've abided by that. And the missus has got second home, third home. She's got money tucked away. She's taking the poor guy's pension, everything, mate. So this is what's being used. Our religion has been used against us by the women because they know. I told you, women are clever. This is what people don't clock. They're 10 steps ahead, yeah? Unfortunately, Not all of them, but a lot of them that have engaged in this always 10 steps ahead. And they all come out with this line.
Yeah.
So to you and all the youngsters out there, no, that is a wrong answer. What you say to her is, you're right. Unfortunately, yes, I do like you. I do want to make it work. But Islamically, some school of thoughts and some practice, some scholars or some schools of thought in Islam will say, well, technically, as a woman, you shouldn't be working. You shouldn't be free mixing. As a man in Islam, a hadith, sunnah, Quran, I can technically have more than one wife. So if we are abiding, when it comes to finances, everyone wants to follow religion when they're financially gaining, yeah? When it comes to the other way, right, they don't want to follow Islam when it comes to family court. No, don't worry about Islam now. It's a family court. Let's strip this geezer of everything he's got and his family's wealth, yeah? So my point is, I've said it, I don't think you can apply this here. You need to use your head here, boys. Don't be too naive. This, again, you see what you just did there. When you're in these negotiations in marriage, that will be seen as weakness. That is the sort of stuff they clock. That is weakness. They will zone into that. We got him.
No.
So number one, you say, okay, Islamically, yeah, it also says I'm allowed to have more than one wife. I don't even need your permission. Are you down with that as well? If you want to follow that rule to the book, when it comes to you gaining financially and putting me at risk, you are happy to follow it to the black and white, yeah? So why don't we flick over to this page of the Quran, marrying twos, threes, and fours. What about that? What about that ayat? Let's talk about that. What about the ayat that it says your husband, you're married? If he decides that no, you're not going to work, you're not bringing value to me, forget it. You ain't working. That. What about that ayat? But then what sister said? Oh, he's backward. This is the problem. There's a label for him. He's now backward. So do not succumb to all of these little tactics. Have these arguments ready. If Islamically that is right and you want to follow that one hadith, why don't we follow this hadith as well? Why don't we follow husband's hadith and the rights of the husband? Husband's rights, father's rights have been lost, bruv. In England now, I can tell you, there's not many scholars, imams, from the whole religious practicing sector. The problem that's going on in family court, the fatherless, and none of them are talking about it. None of them are interested. Most of them, unfortunately, there's few genuine ones in there that are talking about it, but very few. Most of them not interested because it doesn't suit them, bro. It's a taboo subject. Doesn't suit them. Doesn't suit their, their following or whatever it is, bro. So I assure you, youngsters, do not succumb to this Islamic angle. Yeah, this is a tactic that they use.
Yeah,
so you say to her, and if she has been working and you're going to buy a house, so I'll say to you this.
Are you completing like your sunnah?
Hey?
Like, there's other things that they need to do as well.
No, but they're tact. My point is the financial argument.
Because the house thing is a sunnah, isn't it?
What is?
Having a separate house is a sunnah.
No, you can have a separate house, no problem. But my point is, if she's a professional, she's been working, say no problem. I'll bring 50% deposit. You bring 50% deposit, or tell your dad to bring 50% deposit, and then we buy a house together. Because look, when it goes to the family court, yeah, you're gonna lose 60, 70, 80% anyway. But if you've only paid 50% and you lose 80%, you don't mind losing just your 50%.
Yeah, it's not that much of a hit
compared to you doing like what you said. I'll provide, do, pay bills, everything. I have known cases, yeah, just to put it out to you youngsters, right? Yeah, there's some tight. I don't want to swear, right? Try and keep it professional, keep tidy, yeah. But there's some seriously tight sisters out there, yeah. I know of cases, yeah. Youngsters, listen up, yeah. In the marriage, this woman, at every little thing, they order takeaway. Her husband wasn't at home, so she paid. This woman works, right? Yeah. Husband comes up, you owe me 20 quid. You know, what for? We order takeaway and it's your job to provide this. No, why am I paying that? And she's winning serious money, bro. 50, 60, like serious earners putting away money. He's like, but surely, like, not down to the pound. She goes out and gets a couple of coffees for both of them. Oh, you owe me £5 because your job to pay. She counts and all her money she earns, she sends home to her dad. He's like, look, if we're in a marriage and together, this is taking it to a bit extreme.
I've never heard of a story.
Brother, there's stuff I could tell you, yeah, that you will throw up. You'll never want to get married again. So I don't want to put you off. It's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. But my point is, leverage your position and don't get mugged off. So if you have got to a stage where you're saying, I learn sort out my business, get the best position possible, become the best version of myself, but then you demand, you have clout, do not sell yourself short. So when she says, oh, I have to provide, you have to do this and that, and I have to keep all, you did what every other guy has done in the last
I
10,
think it's
50,
worth
20
having a
years.
backbone and having knowledge of the
So you
Quran.
got to have, no, but my point is, we know in Muslims that you're allowed 2, 3, 4 wives. So when she throws out this money on, and my point is, every sister practicing, non-practicing, Muslim, even some non-Muslim now, they're throwing out this quote about as a husband and a father, and men are being shamed into agreeing to this. Oh, look, he's not even a man. Astaghfirullah. I've heard other, people say, oh, astaghfirullah. Listen, bro, when you lose everything and you're on the streets and you live in mobile, reality will hit you, yeah? You need to use your head. Allah Pak never said remove your brain, yeah? Use your head. Men generally, like I said, look at the family unit as one. Sisters, when the sisters are making that hadith, yeah, quoting that hadith, what they're doing is what they do best, unfortunately, is look out for themselves. Women think differently to men. So you know what you did? It's classic man behavior. Yeah, inshallah, yeah, that's what Islam says, and I'd happily do that, not a problem. I ain't got an issue with that, no problem. Yeah, I'll provide, do everything. Your money's your money. Really nice, noble thing to do. But you've put yourself in a position to take a bad hit. Again, unfortunately, you've put yourself in a position where you've got no leverage. That's the reality. I got to say it straight. I got to be honest and true.
Yeah.
So don't put yourself in that position. She throws that hadith. You say no problem. It also says I'm allowed to have 4 wives. Why don't we talk about that hadith? It also says that I'm your mahram and I can say whether you work or not. Some schools of thought say women shouldn't be working or free mixing. Why don't we talk about that hadith? My point is women should be wearing. Some school of thought say scarf not enough. You should maybe be wearing a niqab. My point is there's so many hadiths and angles you can take. You need to throw all this back at her. And if you are in say your position you want to be in, yeah, you want to establish yourself. You've got something to offer, yeah. You've got your business sorted. You're the best version of yourself. Why are you selling yourself short? That's my point. Do not sell yourself short and do not just succumb or nod along to these things. That's my point. So understand the mechanics of everything I'm saying. I mean, it might sound harsh or extreme, but just understand the mechanics of why am I agreeing to this? What is to be gained if I agree to this? What is to be lost? Just question everything. And if she's a working professional, no problem. Bring 50-50 and we buy a house together. We can live separate, 50-50. No? Oh, going to get the money for dad. Give 50% of your dad first, yeah? Your dad wants to live, you want to live separate, yeah? Your dad's told you not to live with the in-laws, yeah? He don't want to see you? No problem. Go tell your dad, get his pension money out, bring 50%. Straight, bro, you got to ask these questions, very important.
Yeah, I think the biggest learning lesson, not only for me, but for the boys out there, is that equip yourself with the knowledge of, if you have these questions, that obviously the girl does, what's going to be the actual response? Because she's testing you. She's probably,
They're testing the
they have that
boundaries.
saying, I
Yes.
don't want to swear as well. They have that saying,
Is it Bengali? Is there something you can say in Bengali that people know straight away? Like, when people are testing you out when you go sit, there must be some Bengali term that.
Not really for this
No?
one.
Okay,
Not really
alright.
for this one, but it's a S test.
Of course, 100%.
Yeah,
Look, they're
S test.
gauging you, and when you're a nice guy, unfortunately, in the Asian community, it's seen as weakness. Sorry, but I didn't want to take over the podcast.
Yeah,
You carry on. Tell me more. What
but-
else are you thinking like about all of this?
It's something that I probably haven't looked at too much, if I'm completely honest. Maybe a bit naivety as well. But then again, there's obviously beauty in marriage, right? Not all girls are like that.
No,
Let's
be attractive. No, listen, you got to be attractive.
Not all women are like that. Not all women are like that. Let's be honest.
Attractive.
No, not attractive as in like they're out to be divorced.
No, I'm not. Listen, do not get it twisted.
I think
My
females
point-
are a beautiful thing.
There are a lot of nice people out there. Look, do not get put off here. I'm just saying when you go in there, it is a negotiation.
Have a
Leverage
contingency.
your worth, and in the marriage, put yourself in a position where it is equal to the point where if it goes wrong, because if one party, look, if me and you do a business now, I've got all the leverage, yeah? All the law on my side, I've got all the leverage, yeah? Who's really in charge? Is it 50-50 or am I in charge? Remember this, just do not put yourself in a position of where you can be controlled and leveraged because of the system. Period. Understand all my videos about family law, father's rights, the one I done with the Mackenzie just released. We talk about what a father's rights are, how a father's rights get compromised. Like everything you're doing, for example, yeah. This information that I'm putting out there was not available, was not available. The red pill, all the red pill sort of knowledge around women, that's only come out in the last few years. Women, sisters are talking about feminine, I'm in my feminine, you're in your masculine, all this other. No one ever spoke like that, bro. 5-10 years ago, I've never heard these terms. It's only in the last 2 years all these terms have come out. But even then, do you see how I can see the way you're saying it, your approach, and your perception of it is still that illusion. And I'm hoping with these podcasts and everything we're doing and everything I've done, I can remove some of these illusions and put the reality around the situation. See, before you did what I've done and hundreds of others have done, just bimbled along with it. Yeah, nothing I can do, I suppose, right? Which is a perfectly natural response. I'm a man, it's my responsibility anyway, bismillah. Because you're a good person, you've got a good heart. Unfortunately, men like that, there's a lot of men like that who are on the other side of devastation, who do not want to carry on with life, who have contemplated taking on life, bro. And the only reason Muslims are not in that category right now, because in Islam it's a very major sin to take one's own life, yeah. Otherwise, other communities, bro, 10 men a day, post-separation, self-deleting, choosing to end their life, yeah. Because that is the brutal reality of a marriage gone wrong, the devastation. And let me tell you something, all of those men out there who think they're tough and hard, what happened to me? Until you lose contact with your children for a prolonged period of time, you have no idea what pain is, how brutal it is, and what it takes to get up every day and still survive and continue. Yeah. That's the reality I want the kids to know. Do not take it for granted. Do not leave it to chance. So in order for the marriage to work, you need to leverage your best position financially, emotionally, mentally. You need to leverage equal position so that one person does not have all the power. That's what I'm saying. Let's put it this way. So we've got a business partnership. If this business folds, I'm walking with 80-90% of the assets and the money out of the business, yeah? So if me and you fall out or we have a bad few days, yeah, do I give a shit if this business folds or this partnership breaks?
Well,
understand the psychology.
Looking at the leverage,
Understand the psychology. Humans, look, behavior will change with the opportunity or the law or whatever. Societal behavior is governed by law. This business partnership, yeah, it'll come down to morals in the end of what sort of person I am. But if I have 70-80% and I genuinely think, you know what, I don't like him, we've fallen out, I've had enough of his shit, he's just got bad ideas, blah, blah, blah. Asian body culture is mine, actually. I could run it better than him. Yeah, all right, let's fall out. No problem. I'll start being even more awkward. We fall out. Yeah, no problem. You can take me to court, you'll get your 10%. I've just walked away with body coach. I've walked away with 90% of Asian body coach. What do I care? Am I going to fight to keep this partnership? Am I going to fight to do the right thing? But is it just easy for me to say, well, oh, well, Tambir, on the road, see you later, man. I'll have to just take 90%. I'll see you in court, mate, no problem. Knowing that law's going to give me 90%. Understand that dynamic is what plays out in the end, and that is what is playing out in relationships, cross-community, cross-culture. Social media, women got constant attention, constant offers. Guess what? That husband that she's been sleeping with for the last 5, 6, 8 years, suddenly he's not in great shape. He's never gives me attention. He's always at work. Oh, he always goes to see his mum and dad. He only cares about his own brothers and sisters. You know what? Maybe I could do better. That is what has expedited this situation and in these marriages. So understand what I'm saying, yeah? I don't want to put you off, man. Sorry, man. I don't want to put you off, man.
It's not putting me off. It's just opening my eyes of what is actually out there. Because we've got to be adult about this. We've got to know what the possibilities are. But as young men, I don't want people to think like, look, marriage is a hard thing. It can also be a beautiful thing, as long as you're fully equipped with the stuff that.
I just think, don't go with your little goggles on. Don't go with your goggles of happiness on. Yeah, just go open-minded. And be natural, be chill, but understand the reality of these things. That's all I'm saying.
Well, this is what a man is. A man is someone that is intelligent and has their head on, their head game on, and they're intelligent about this. Because you might have kids in the marriage, and the last thing you want is them to go through this.
Look, you don't want the marriage to be broken. You want it to survive. Look, I want you to be happy. I want you to find the right person, be with the right person. I want you to be happy. Hence, when you go into these meetings, prevention is better than cure. Go into these meetings. Don't just be attracted, but don't. If she's a prima donna, clock it, bro. You're pretty girl. She's super
through the
pretty.
Tests, etc.
No, check little things. Don't only go for looks. I'm saying yes, you should be attracted, but don't just put down on looks. Yeah. Look at the overall bigger picture. Look at how she is, what position she has in the family, how they operate. Look at deeper things, man. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. It is a gamble on some level or other, but Now, do you now understand what disqualified dads is about? Do you understand where I'm coming from now?
After talking to you and what you've said, it makes a lot more sense in terms of what your
content. You know where I'm going with this content,
with the vision, and what you've experienced in your own personal life and what you're trying to give the message out there.
But you understand it more in depth because we've not talked like this. We've not had a chance to fully. The fact that we've done this on camera, we've managed to capture it, right? But do you understand the illusion that maybe was in front of you, even though you know certain things, you never thought it like this?
Because there's a yin and a yang. There's a dark and a
Yeah, but my
light.
point is, look, for example, when I was there, I couldn't see this. Yeah,
You're gonna see the yang.
yeah. Now my point is, I don't know what it looks like for what I need to do or create for someone who's there to be able to see what I've seen and think, crap, wow, this is the harsh reality. Is this how it is?
Yeah.
Damn, okay, let me just be a bit more sensible. Let me not take this for granted. I just need that moment of awakening. That's what I'm trying to create for someone on that side of it still.
Yeah. And it's like the juxtaposition. Someone that's been married and gone through this, and someone that's never been married and wouldn't know about this. Right? So
Yes,
it's always good to have that perspective of actually seeing both sides, right?
definitely.
Of how I see it and how Farouk sees it. So I don't want anyone feeling disheartened, but this is how
Do
this is
not be
how
disheartened. Look, there's
this is
nothing
how
to be.
both.
Marriage is a beautiful thing. Love is a beautiful thing. You know, get married, fall in love, grow together, be happy, be sensible, look out for each other. That's what I'm saying. The problem is when you come in with this ideology of feminism, bro. A woman, unfortunately, sisters. I won't say women, bro. Sisters from our community, they're coming in more and more combative, more and more argumentative, less and less agreeable. And what they want is they want the man to be less combative. They want the man to be agreeable. And on some level, look, regardless of as nice as young men are and chilled and laid back and they don't really understand some of this, they're going to get to a point where they snap. And think, why am I being pushed? Regardless who it is, why am I being disrespected?
Because one thing I realize is the reason feminism might be promoted is it breaks down the household sometimes. So the man doesn't feel like a man, and even the woman doesn't feel like a woman. And
So
feminism is meant to be promoting female nature and being a female.
once you break up the family unit, you break up society. You can control people more. You can manipulate their religions. The Muslim community has been strong, and like I said, the Muslim community. I know this from it's already started tearing. It's not from the external, bro. It's not being damaged externally. It's from the inside out. They've planted the ideology. It's now self-destructing from within. And the women, unfortunately, 80%, not all of them, the 80% of women who are doing this and the women who are coming in combative and doing all of these things, they have brothers and fathers supporting them, practicing people, imams. And like I said, if imams now are marrying, for example, a divorce, I'm not talking about one random imam, big following, massive charity. My man's feeding orphans in Turkey and Syria and all this stuff, yeah? He's married to a divorcee who's and he's living in a house that belongs to this divorcee now who acquired it through the family court, which is completely against Islam and Sharia. And this imam's happy to live in there in a house that another man paid for. Is he living in the halal house or a haram house?
That's definitely haram.
So you tell me, these are the leaders, bro. Do you think, and this is what I'm trying to say to you, bro, is being destructed from within. And now with the generation of children that are going to grow up without their fathers in our community, we'll see the full effects in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, bro. We'll see the full effects.
Yeah.
The community, the ummah is being destroyed from within. That's why this is so important, this podcast. And this is what I'm trying to say to you. The religious classes, the scholars, and the majority silence. There's a handful that have come out and talked about it. Majority silent, majority not interested. Like I said, brothers from a channel. Again, a lot of people are selling Islam now, online, offline, TV, many channels. Yeah, these brothers from an Islamic TV channel, yeah, a Muslim TV channel, they own it and run it because it was their cousin or friend's relative, sister, whatever. They didn't even bother speaking to this guy, getting to know him, find out what the situation is. They rocked up at this geezer's house under instruction of one of their family members, and they robbed these geezers and other brothers. And every single person there had a beard, topi, jabba, yeah, all practicing brothers, yeah. Sisters with a niqab on there, yeah. Sister, this geezer's sister-in-law, niqabi, bro. These are practicing people, young imam. Because there's footage, there's clear CCTV footage. This is how the so-called practicing people are being. I tell you what, I'll tell you what Islam is under attack from. What I truly believe. The only thing Islam is under attack from, unfortunately, I think, is these so-called practicing people. These so-called practicing people that go around doing stuff like what I've explained today. That's who Islam's really under attack from. We need to call them out, expose those munafiqs in the community.
Munafiqs.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go on about these munafiqs here, but they need to be exposed. Inshallah, they will. Frankly, but yeah, sorry, Tammy. Carry on, man. Carry on with what you want to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say? I know I've gone on a bit of a tangent, Tammy.
I wanted to cover that part. I'll be honest. That was probably what if young men are watching this, or even a young sister, just basically being aware of how a man feels and what can actually affect a marriage for a female as well as a man.
Yeah,
For both.
sisters, you need to be in the marriage. We want you to be happy.
Yeah.
Work together, not against each other. Yeah, most men, like, he's a nice guy. He's laid back. He's
Yeah.
happy. He'd happily, like, he wants to work on himself so he can be the best for his spouse.
Because I personally feel females aren't there to just like create havoc. They're not. They want a family, and I feel they're misguided through feminism.
The
and probably
misguided, but society has conditioned this, bro. And like I said,
Mhm.
you don't want to be on the end of this. That's why some of this might sound harsh. Tanvir, look,
Mm.
we've slightly, I don't know how we got into this topic for so long. Is there anything you want to say to conclude? Anything you want to add before we sort of conclude, as time is short? And we might get kicked out of the building any minute soon. Nah,
Any minute. Give me a follow if you haven't already. Asian Body Coach on Instagram, right? I help people lose weight with curry. And if you're listening to this, obviously you might be South Asian, you might be looking for a coach. Make sure you give me a follow. I'll send you a free curry meal plan. But it was nice getting to know Farouk and what his.
yeah, listen, man, I'm with you,
behind the
bro.
scenes.
We'll find you a bride. Don't worry, we're gonna
Yeah.
work on it. So we'll get you a good one, right? All I want to say to sisters is, sorry, Karen.
I've benefited from this, right? Probably didn't know a lot of things that Farouk said today, but it's made a lot of sense. I hope it's benefited you, and you've actually got some value from it and actually know things to implement, like questions. But
And yeah, the only thing I want to add to that is, look, sisters, it's not about men. Remember, you've got brothers, you've got younger cousins, you've got nephews, you've got sons. They're going to be exposed to the same system tomorrow. So it's about the society as a whole. It's not about men or women. I'm not here to bash women. We need to pull together to protect what we have as a community, a culture, and the generations to come. Thank you for watching.
thank you guys,
Disqualified Dads.
and Tanvi the Asian Body Coach.